Well, a magnificent Monday afternoon. Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. The Gregor Show is always presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game and get started with a $100 bonus right now. Use the promo code Gregor100 at PlayAlberta.ca. I'm Jason Gregor. He is Connor Halley. And, man, we got lots to discuss on the show tonight. It is the final week, actually 4 days left in the NHL regular season. And the playoffs will begin Saturday, the 19th. The Oilers will not be playing on Saturday, the 19th, but good chance they will open up their playoffs. Nothing confirmed, but very good chance they will open up on Sunday, the 20th in LA. I know that mathematically there is a chance the Oilers can finish second still. They'd have to win both of their games, and LA would have to only pick up 1 point in their final 3 games. If they pick up 2, they would have the tie, and they own the tiebreaker. So the Oilers are 2 points back them. Looking at the Oilers lineup tonight, I think they realize that home ice advantage is very slim chance of happening, and probably maybe doesn't matter that much because they're resting guys. They're being cautious. Connor McDavid will not play tonight. Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman also will not dress. Troy Stecher, who left last night's game, he's not going to play. Trent Frederick still not ready. Matthias Ekholm, bad news, Oilers fans. Matthias Ekholm will not be playing in the NHL playoffs. Might not be playing in the second round. Heck, he might not play in the playoffs at all. But he is out. He hasn't been officially ruled out of the playoffs, but he is out for, quote, a while, which I'm saying at least a month. So, you know what? If the Oilers, if they get to the conference final, then maybe. But up until that point, don't expect Matthias Ekholm. With Stecher out and Ekholm out, Cam Dineen, of course, stays in. The Oilers have recalled Josh Brown from Bakersfield. He'll be the 6th defenseman tonight. Up front, Quinn Hudson, who the Oilers signed to a 2-year entry-level contract fresh out of Boston University. He's going to play, going to make his NHL debut. He'll play tonight and likely play Wednesday. He is not eligible to play in the playoffs because in order to play in the playoffs, you have to be either on the roster by the trade deadline or on the reserve list, like a draft pick. Somebody who's in college, who is drafted, they're on your reserve list. Then if they sign, like Snuggerud in St. Louis, for instance, he's eligible to play in the playoffs because he was on the reserve list. Quinn Hudson was a free agent, wasn't anybody's property, and that's why he signed. So he's playing because it burns his first year of his entry-level deal. It's kind of a negotiation thing. It ultimately, I don't think, is going to matter in the big scheme of things. It just means he's a free agent again next summer. He's an RFA. But if you're worried about it, he won't be eligible for an offer sheet, if that matters to you or not. I don't think it will. I think he's a player who's likely destined to start in the American League next season, which is fine. And then see kind of how his career progresses. But the bigger picture when you sign these type of players is you're not too worried about the entry-level deal burning off or not, because how many of those guys are going to have a big enough year to really matter? Yeah, his entry-level contract will probably be higher than what his second contract is going to be as far as his salary in the NHL. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if you see that. But he'll play tonight. Nugent Hopkins comes back in. McDavid comes out. And then the Oilers, due to salary cap restrictions, they've had to send Noah Philp and Derek Ryan to the minors. Neither requires, you know what? And so they'll go down, paper shuffle a little bit here because they don't have enough cap space to keep all the guys around. So that's what happens. Noah Philp and Derek Ryan kind of get, I guess, a little bit of the short end of the stick in that regard. So the Oilers will play 11 forwards and 6 defensemen tonight. Calvin Pickard will get the start in goal. The Los Angeles Kings, they're going to play Drew Doughty. Drew Doughty hasn't played since he left the game against the Oilers on April 5th. But he'll play tonight. Joel Edmondson will not play. He is still banged up. He also got injured in that game. He finished the game, unlike Doughty, but hasn't played since. They're hoping he'll be ready for the playoffs. And Joel Edmondson, the Kings play tonight. They play tomorrow, and then they play Thursday against Calgary. They got Seattle tomorrow night. So they got 3 games left in 4 days. Another reason why they're not going to start on Saturday. Simply, you're not going to play 3 games in the final 4 days and then play 2 days later the start of the playoffs. So the Oilers and the Kings, they're either going to start Sunday or Monday. I could see it being Sunday, but we'll wait for official confirmation on the schedule for the Edmonton Oilers. But they got a lot of guys rested. Nugent Hopkins is feeling better since his illness, but Hyman, Stetcher, Draisaitl, they're still a little bit nicked up. Draisaitl was on the ice in the optional morning skate today, taking shots. He's obviously very close. He will be an option for Wednesday. Jake Wallman not playing tonight. He's an option for Wednesday. Stetcher, an option. Now, whether or not the guys play Wednesday is one thing, but head coach Chris Knobloch said McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Stetcher, Wallman, all are expected to be ready for game 1 of the NHL playoffs. Evander Kane says he's feeling good. He joked that when asked, could he be ready for game 1? He says, well, last year I played in the playoffs on one leg. So compared to last year, yeah, I'll be ready. Ow, does that mean he's 100% ready for game 1? We'll see. I would lean towards yes. You will see Kane in the lineup on whenever the series starts. You'll have a better, I think, idea of Kane's availability this Thursday. So the Oilers are going to travel to San Jose. Then they're going to stay in San Jose because, as the odds are, Edmonton's going to start in LA. Like, it's a lot of things have to happen here. The Kings got to basically tank it for 3 straight games. I don't see it happening. So they'll go to San Jose for that game on Wednesday. Then they're going to stay in San Jose and practice there for a few days and then head over to LA probably on Saturday, I would think, if the game starts Sunday. So that's kind of the update for the Oilers on the injury front and cap-wise and everything else. So Quinn Hudson will make his Oilers debut tonight. Josh Brown will come back in. He's being recalled from Bakersfield, and away they go. The Oilers, I thought, played another solid game last night in Winnipeg. Now, wow, the Jets weren't healthy. Yeah, did you see who the Oilers didn't have in the lineup? It didn't matter. The Jets had 19 shots on goal, 18 shots on goal. The one thing, the positive for me for all the injuries for the Oilers is they've started to clamp down defensively. I think they realized, okay, you know what? Like, we got some big offensive guys out here. We got a limit. And they haven't allowed more than 3 goals in any of their last 8 games. And really only allowed 3 goals in 2 of them. The other one's an empty netter. So, it's a little bit different for me. So the other games, they've allowed 17 goals with a goalie in net in their last 8 games. You got to really, and they've gone 6-2. It's no surprise. Usually got a really good chance to win when you can limit the opposition to 2 goals or less. It's just how it is. So the Oilers' defensive game, I feel, is starting to come around. And when it plays, it's better. Hey, Gregor, isn't Kane available to play a couple games in Bakersfield? Well, he hasn't been officially cleared to play yet. That's why he hasn't gone down there. Hasn't been discussed. And I don't expect it to be discussed now. I guess theoretically he could play Wednesday. But I think the Oilers look at this and say, okay, we send Kane down to play a game. And what if something weird happens? He gets injured down there. I don't think they want it. But Kane says it hasn't been discussed because he really hasn't been cleared 100% to play yet. So if he hasn't been cleared to play, you're not going to send him down to the American League. So there you go. Also, this weekend, how many of you watched the Masters? What a finish. Really, what an electrifying final round. It was up and down. Rory had a 4. Well, first of all, what did he started off terribly, right? Loses 2 strokes in the first 2 holes. Went from leading by 1 to trailing by 1. You're like, uh-oh, this isn't good. Then gets to the 11th and suddenly has a 4-stroke lead. As DeChambeau kind of fell apart a little bit. And then on 1 hole, there's a turn of 3 strokes. He doubles, and at the same time he's doubling, Justin Rose is birdieing the 16th, and suddenly it's tied. And then even Aber got to -10. Or Oberg, excuse me, -10. And now it's a 3-way tie. And you're thinking, what is happening? And then Rose makes that huge putt on 18. Now he puts all the pressure on Rory. Rory's drive on the 18th, very good. Approach shot, put it in the bunker. Gets up out of the, now he's just got to get up and down to win. gets out of the bunker, gives himself a really good shot. What was he, 6, 7? I don't even know how many feet he was. It was close. Maybe even 5. Missed it. Now you got to go to a playoff. And now he's got to regroup again. Unreal. And Rose, who's shooting first, great drive. Pressure's on, matches the drive. Actually outdrives him by 30. Rose, good shot. He's right at the green about, 15, 16 feet, but a good shot. Now Rory, unbelievable approach. Just puts it right in that little swale, funnels right down, 5 feet away. Rose misses his putt. Rory makes his for birdie, wins. And gets the Grand Slam for his career, only the 6th golfer ever to do it on the PGA Tour. Punches his ticket as one of the probably top 10 of all time, I think it's fair to say, for Rory McIlroy at this point. And it's funny, when you look at Rory's age, like he's been around, it seems like he's been around forever, but he came in as a young guy. And Rory is only, what is he, 35? Like he's going to turn 36 here right away. But still, in golf world, he's probably got a decade left if he can stay healthy. So it was just an unbelievable finish. Unreal finish. And makes it exciting. We talked about, had he lost, where would that rank? Tough losses. Because he's had a few tough losses before, Connor Halley. When you were watching that, were you thinking, here we go again?
I will tell you, before the start of the round, I said, he's gonna blow it, isn't he? I just thought for sure that Bryson DeChambeau would be the one to go in there, steal it away from him, be the bad guy, take from Rory, who I think we all wanted to see complete the career Grand Slam, but happy to say I was wrong. And it's crazy, Gregor. 10 years in between majors, we thought, when he was 24, 25, he could go down as one of the best, maybe chase down Tiger. He had 4 majors at that point. It was a long break in between, but I was thrilled to see it for Rory. That was awesome.
It was, right? You could see the emotion. And now, is it just me, or was that the longest walk to the clubhouse ever? Did they move the clubhouse? I'm not even joking, but I don't ever remember 18 being that far from the clubhouse before. Maybe it wasn't that monumental. I don't know. But I thought it was awesome. And you see the walk and they're hugging guys, and you see Shane Lowry and others, and I love it. When someone has success, I think people that are confident, secure in themselves, they love seeing others have success. Right? Because how many of the other golfer guys were legitimately happy for him? Right? Even Justin Rose said, I love Justin Rose's post-match interview. He's I wanted to be the bad guy. Because he knew everybody was rooting for Rory. How could you not be? He thought it was fantastic. But I loved him. He goes, man, I played really well. And that's what's unique about golf. You can play great and still not win. There's nothing, you can't control the other player. Right? That's where it's different than in a sport. That ultimately, you don't have much impact. You can maybe try to put a little pressure on the opposition, but you can't get in their way. In basketball, I can contest a shot. In hockey, I can get in the shooting lane. I can get on you. I can body check you, right? Football, obviously, you can tackle. Baseball, you're a good swinger. Well, guess what? I can have a great curveball or a fastball or whatever. But in golf, that's why it's different for me. It's just, can you be better than the course? And can you stay within yourself, within your emotions, all those different things? And obviously Rory did it. And it showed you how the best thing in life, the people who can just accept that there's going to be a hiccup, right? There's no smooth path to anything in life, really, when you think about it. Just think about raising kids. Think about your relationship. Is every day this is the greatest day of my life? Everything is easy. No, right? There's always how you react when adversity hits you. And it's like Mike Tyson. Everybody has a game plan until you get punched in the face. Well, Rory probably never thought, hey, I'm going to miss a 5-foot putt and have to go to a playoff. But he did. So my question to you, though, is today, because I was looking up some things and people talk about, Justin Rose, tough loss, or would that be the worst loss for Rory? So I want you to think, because I can tell you, I think I have the worst loss in pro sports. And I'm talking big events, right? Whether it's, major event, you're going for a championship, maybe it's a title fight in boxing, something like that. I'm not talking a loss in November of the regular season or game 86 of 162 game baseball season, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking toughest loss. that you can think a team or an individual has had to endure? I'll give you mine coming up at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. Okay. Also on the show today, Laddie Schmid is going to join us. We're going to talk about the Oilers' defensive structure. It seems to be a lot better. Sean Brown will be by. Stephen Ellis from Daily Faceoff will get a little bit of a scouting report. What should Oilers fans expect from Quinn Hudson? A few of the other young players around. Got the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate. We'll hear from Patrick O'Neill, talk about the LA Kings. Drew Doughty is going to play tonight for the Kings. Spec. Kevin Woodley will be by. Why I believe it's kind of a no-brainer. Stuart Skinner is going to start game 1 for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to be a big discussion. I don't really think it's an internal debate at all, to be honest, amongst the organization. So I think it's Stuart Skinner. He's been their starter all year long, and I expect him to be the starter in game 1. And then it's going to be up to him to see how long he remains the starter. No debate on that. But I also think there's no debate on who's going to be the starter for game 1. Also, here comes the Sun promotion. An opportunity for you to win a $15,000 solar system installation on your home, courtesy of Action Electrical. And we'll tell you all about the details at 4 o'clock today. That will be the first day we do it. So it should be great. It's a turnkey solar system. Like, man, so you come in, it's going to be unbelievable. It's all the installation, everything is all included with it. You have to be a homeowner, must reside 50K within inside of the Edmonton area. Now, if you're drawn, you will have to submit a paragraph as to why you're worthy. That's just so we know, hey, you're committed to it. But here's the catch. If you want, you can nominate to gift this to someone else. You can get it for yourself, or you can gift it to someone. That can be in your, and that's their final step. You'll qualify on the show today, but to 100% get in the draw, then you have to send that paragraph off. Pretty simple to Action Electrical. We'll send you all the details. Very simple. So we're going to do one a day starting today until Friday, May 16th. Then we will do the draw live on the show on Friday, May 23rd. And someone is going to win the turnkey solar system to your home. $15,000 value. That's a pretty sweet prize. Pretty sweet prize. Courtesy of Action Electrical. We'll return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
DJ Booster coming at you live with warmer weather, longer days, and dropping 2 new booster mixers for April from Booster Juice. Pucker up, party people! The Zesty Berry Booster Mixer features raspberry and lemon in perfect harmony. Then turn it all the way up with Mango Booster Mixer with delicious mango and pineapple notes.
Mix it up with the new Booster Mixers at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999. Download the Booster Rewards app and order one today.
Edmonton's premium live music and party venue is
On the Rocks.
Check out Bingo Tunes on Monday. Perform on the best stage in town with karaoke on Wednesdays. Learn how to salsa with Salsa Rocks on Thursdays. And every weekend, OTR goes live.
With your favorite bands on the OTR stage and DJ Kenny K.
For everything that's going on at On the Rocks, give us a follow.
Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
At On the Rocks, EDM.
Eat well, party hard.
On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
On the Rocks. Open every day till 2 a.m.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
At Fountain Tire, our focus is taking care of your vehicle. Your focus? Saving up to 25% off select tires. Plus, getting up to a $120 mail-in rebate on a set of 4 select tires until April 26th. So we both win. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
You know how you look forward to all your favorite sports coming back in the spring? Soccer, baseball, golf. Well, GS Construction looks forward to getting back to work with the warmer weather. We're all excited and geared up for this very busy time of year. The groundbreaking season is upon us, and GS Construction is ready to roll with all sorts of new projects. Projects that help the community and make the place we live in better. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
There's one.
And another. No, not spring flowers yet, but rather huge deals. It's GMC's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick. Nab 0% financing up to 72 months on our most popular Sierra half-tons, or massive discounts starting at $8,000. Choose your truck from a great selection, like the fabulous all-new Canyon, right up to the trailer-hauling Sierra HD with the industry-leading Duramax diesel. Spring into Wolf GMC Buick today and snag your truck, and see the savings at wolfgmcbuick.com.
With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win games with salad.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Need a golf cart that works as hard as it plays? The Golf Cart people can help. They offer a wide selection of new and used models, including Club Car. Whether you're after a lifted cart for the cabin or a sleek ride for the course, they'll help you find the right match. Add accessories or explore ready-to-go options available now. Trusted by Albertans since 1997. The Golf Cart People delivers quality and experience. Visit golfcartpeople.com to find your cart and hit the road, or the fairway, your way.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.222. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Hope you're having an awesome day. Hey, Gregor, how bad is the Oilers cap space? They got no relief from Kane being God all year? Well, he's on LTIR, sure. But, John, you got to remember, look at how many players the Oilers are carrying right now. So they have 19 playing tonight. Then you've got Frederick. You've got Ekholm, who's not on LTIR because he can't be because it's too late in the year. McDavid's not playing. Draisaitl's not playing. Hyman's not playing. Stetcher's not playing. Like, how much you can't think they're going to have that much cap space to just have like 26, 27 guys, no problem. It's just sheer numbers, right? People are saying, oh, they should sit more guys. There is a salary cap. You can't just sit everybody and think you're just going to be able to bring up your whole American League team, right? Like, there is a cap. And so, you can't do it. When you get that many injuries, that's just what happens. So, then they signed Hudson. So there's another one. I forgot him. So, yeah, they got a lot of bodies right now. And, they got 2 games left. I really don't think it's an issue. If I'm being 100% honest, they're going to play 11 forwards tonight. That's fine. It's a lot of guys who aren't huge minute eaters, so they're loving it. Connor Brown, Arvidsson, all these guys, they got some confidence offensively. It's great. And the team lately has been much better defensively, which I think is a good thing. And so let's talk about that now as we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Rides Charter Company, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies with state-of-the-art motor coaches that safely take you or your group to your next destination. Book your ride today at silentrides.ca. As we're joined by a former NHLer, of course, co-host with Kevin Karras in the morning, Ladislav Smid. Joined us, Smeeder. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing good. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm excellent. So getting fired up. It's the last week of the regular season, and then we got the playoffs. And man, I love playoffs in any sport. Now, Smeeder, do you golf?
Nope.
No, you don't
I
like
live on the golf. I live on a golf course, but I don't golf.
You don't golf. Okay. Did you by chance watch any of the Masters yesterday?
Yes, I got to watch the final round when Rory missed that short putt to go to the playoff round. But then I had to drive to my next meeting, so I missed the playoffs. I just watched the replay of it, but it was I love a showdown.
Oh, buddy, like the pressure of that. Now, if you don't golf, but like in hockey, it's a team sport, right? But you know, when you're in golf and it's an individual sport like that, like you got to I'm sure in hockey, if it's all of a sudden, you know, you give up a lead in the final minute of a game in the playoff game, you got to forget about it quickly, right? But it's easier said than done sometimes, I would think.
Oh, for sure, man. Like I honestly don't know how Rory could like regroup and go into the playoffs, and you know, that just shows that he is one of the greatest golfers. You know, like to be able to regroup and like put it aside, regroup for the for the playoffs, and being able to come up with a big win. That's pretty remarkable, and you know you wouldn't want it any other way, I guess, right? Collecting the Grand Slam in that way in the playoff round, like it was awesome. I think the spectators couldn't ask for more.
Yeah. Now, the Edmonton Oilers, obviously, they got some key injuries. Ekholm is not going to play at all in the series against LA, and you know I don't think he's going to play in the second round if they get there. He might not even play in the third round. It's obviously a pretty serious injury for them. Wallman will be back. When you look at the Oilers' defense and really their defensive structure, because it's not just a defenseman, it's everybody. These injuries seems to have helped the team because it's 8 straight games now. They've only allowed 17 goals in their last 8 games. Like they've started to get back to being a better defensive team. What have you seen as the improvements defensively here lately?
I think that you banged on it. It's not just defense, goalie, or forwards. I think they work well as a team. You know, like usually what happens when some key players go down, it brings the team a little bit closer. You know, and you know I want to say they probably play for each other a little bit more than if you have a full lineup. That's just how it works from my experience. You know, everybody works hard. They sacrifice body. They block shots, all that kind of stuff. Then you get some decent goaltending. But moving into the playoffs, is that going to be enough if you're missing key players? You know, like you mentioned Ekholm. I think that's a big loss for the Oilers. I don't want to be panicking. Obviously, you still have bunch of other good players in that lineup on defense, but it's getting pretty thin. And like you said, like for me, he was kind of the anchor of the defense back there. You know, you still have, you know, obviously Darnell back there and Bouchard and these guys, but Ekholm for me is the key piece on the defense, and it's sad to see him go down and being out for a while. So we'll see how the whole team is going to react to that. I think that the team's still really, really strong, really deep. But on the defense, kind of, you know, I hope Bowman can come back and, you know, kind of pick up where he left off and be a, you know, key contributor back there. But like I said, makes me a bit nervous.
Yeah, well, you know, Ekholm for sure. He's kind of been banged up for much of the year, a little bit, and not 100%. And, you know, Wallman, when he came in, played very well. My understanding is, you know, if this was playoffs tonight, he'd be playing. They're just being ultra cautious to rest him. And obviously, I think when you tie in the Ekholm injury, it makes sense. You know, same with Troy Stetcher. So, Schmiener, I know you've been coaching, so now I'm going to ask you to put your coaching hat on. So if I give you the 6 defensemen, you've got Kulak and Bouchard, you got Wallman, you've got Nurse, you got Stetcher, and you got Emberson. Are you going to load up your top 2 pairs and have Stetcher play the left side on your third pair with Emberson? Or are you going to keep your 3 righties on the right side and 3 lefties on the left side? What would you do?
Oof, tough one. I would probably spare it. Well, that's a hard one. My gut tells me to load it up, top 4, and then you know, play the bottom 2, like you mentioned. But playoff can be pretty long. Like I don't think there's a harm in trying left and right at first, but somewhere inside of me tells me that I would rather probably load up the top 4 and then they're gonna play big minutes, and then 5-6 can play 12 to 14. I think they're capable of doing that. It's like I said, it's pretty. It's getting pretty thin back there, but my gut tells me I would probably load up the top 4 and then 5-6.
Yeah.
That's those every game matters. That's why I'm saying that. You ideally want to have left and right. That's an ideal world, but nothing is ideal. Nothing can be perfect. Like I said, every game matters, and I would probably rather load up the top 4 and play them big minutes, and then when they need a little bit of rest, then put 5-6 there. And nothing to take away from the 5-6 guys, Thatcher and Emerson. I think they perform well, but like you in the top 4 in those minutes, you need guys who are capable of doing that, and they've done it before. Even Cooley, like when he was asked to play top 4 minutes, he was able to do it. I think he's having a really good year. I think he's capable of doing that.
Yeah, that excites me, Jones. I would agree. I think you kind of got to go the Chicago model when they won the Cup, and Philadelphia when they went. Like, you kind of load up your top 4, and your third pair of guys, going to play 11, 12 minutes, and maybe a little bit here on the penalty kill, and away you go. And so I would agree with you. And then it's just a matter of, is it going to be Kulak and Bouchard? Is it going to be Wallman and Bouchard? Is it going to be Nurse and Bouchard? It might be, we might see them rotate around a little bit. Now you play D, and I know defensemen talk a lot about, like, it's great to have the chemistry of your partner and exactly where he's going in certain situations and all that. But the fact that these guys have all played at different times together, you probably expect to see that we might just not see like 2 set pairs, for the whole series against LA.
Might not, but obviously it helps when you have that guy that you feel the chemistry with. It helps. But like I said, those are kind of times that nobody expect Ekholm going down, and they're NHL players. I think in my opinion they can get used to it, and you can play around with it a little bit. But if like you find the chemistry in those 2 D pairs that can stick, like I would stick with it right away. I wouldn't try to look for something else. If it works, it works, and I would let them play. As soon as I kind of feel that chemistry between, I don't know, Cooley and Bouchard, or Nurse and Wallman, or however you want to kind of put it together. As soon as I feel that chemistry, I would roll with it.
Last me joined us. Connor McDavid comes back, Laddie, and in 3 games looks great, has 9 points. No worse for wear. They're going to be cautious. They're going to rest him tonight, so he doesn't play 3 games in 4 days. Most likely will play against San Jose to get his 100th point on Wednesday night. And just when you see him come back and kind of how he's focused, and it doesn't really matter who you're playing with. Suddenly Connor Brown's a goal scorer, and it just kind of shows you that as much as LA has, maybe they change in their goaltending stuff, Edmonton still has the nuclear deterrence in McDavid and Draisaitl, and that's why I still give them the advantage in the series. What about you?
100%. Like I'm cautious. Like the previous years, I was a little bit more confident, obviously, but given the information with all the injuries, kind of makes me nervous. But I still would favor Edmonton. Like you cannot bet against Edmonton when you have Connor McDavid and you have Leon Draisaitl, and both of them, since Connor came back on fire, obviously, like carrying the play, like it's incredible what he can do. And then you have Leon, like probably my favorite for Hart Ross Trophy. I don't know what about you, Jason, but he was amazing throughout the year. Most goals, just. Like I often say, it's like a man playing with kids. He is strong, he's dominant, he can score goals. So like if you have those 2 guys in the lineup, I wouldn't bet against the Oilers. Like they also the other advantage is they've beat LA before several times, and I know LA is going to be pissed off. Whatever you can say about that, but if you've been beating somebody in the playoffs over and over, it's somewhere in the back of your head that even if you're up, and the Oilers would score a goal, it's like, oh, are they coming back up? Because from the previous experience, previous years, they've done it. They beat LA, tight games. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. LA is playing some great hockey. They got the goaltending they needed. still, I feel like Edmonton's got that firepower that can take over the series.
Vladislav Schmid joins us. Vladdy, the Oilers penalty kill, obviously it started terrible. They allowed 5 goals in the first 6 kills of the season. The last month, then they had a 30-game stretch where it was the best penalty kill in the league, and then it kind of hit the ditch again, and now it's back to being better. What do you, as a guy who killed a ton of penalties, what do you see on the penalty kill when it's working, and conversely, maybe what do you see when it isn't working?
Well, when it's working, like you saw it in the last year too, they got really hot on the penalty kill, right? During the playoffs, they run probably the best PK. Unit of 4 playing together, reading of each other, being aggressive. Like when it's not working, it's not playing like unit of 4. And the way I want to explain this is if one guy goes, everybody needs to go. Everybody needs to be on the same page. They need to read the play. If it's not working, and you can see is that one guy is aggressive and the second and third guy, they're kind of a little bit too late. They don't read properly. They're kind of on a separate pages. So that's what I see when it's working. Like you need the unit of 4, everybody on the same page. And I rather have my penalty kill a little bit more aggressive than passive. And like especially last year when I watched the Oilers on the PK, it was incredible. They didn't stop moving their feet. The sticks were in the right position. They were in the right body position, always reading of each other, anticipating the plays. And then obviously, goaltender needs to be your best PKer and sacrificing your body, blocking a lot of shots. And, I think they can do it. Now is the time. Now is the time to get it all together and go moving into the playoffs. Being, specialty teams can sway the game one or the other way. So those, PK and PP are going to be huge.
Lastly, give me your thoughts on Colorado and Dallas and who you like in that series.
Oh my God. Coin toss. I don't know. Dallas is a wagon, obviously loaded team. I still believe, I think Colorado can beat them. And people don't realize how big is missing Heiskanen in a close playoff series like that's gonna be. I think Heiskanen being missed on the blue line can be a huge factor. I don't know Colorado. If you look at their sentiments too, well experienced, big boys. They know how to play heavy hockey. Obviously, they have some high-end skill. Nikushkin coming back, being hot. Goaltender, question mark. He's been playing good, but is it, goaltending is obviously huge in playoffs. That's a slight edge to Dallas with Ottinger, I think. But missing Heiskanen, that's a problem. Obviously, Dallas loaded up front, really good, but so is Colorado. Colorado's got a Cale Makar back there. They got Devon Tace, 2 big guys. I would give slight edge to Colorado.
Reader, great stuff, buddy. We'll be listening with you and KK this week. Enjoy it, and the playoffs are right around the corner. Should be a lot of fun.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me. Have a good one.
You betcha. Bye. There's Ladislav Schmid joins us Thursday mornings with KK here on Sports 1440. When we come back, we'll talk. We got Cam Tate. We'll hear from Evander Kane, and also I'll update you. I got a lot of texts in on what was the worst loss. There's some really good ones, but I'm going to tell you one that when you think of how you lose, I'm not sure I can think of a worse way in a big moment to lose. We'll tell you about it next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common.
Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Mr. Rooter hits the lick. So I tell the guy it's leaking because you have a hole in one.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you have a better chance of hitting the green with a crescent wrench, you bum.
Oh, boy. It's my rival, Mr. Plunger.
You swing a club like you plumb. Lousy.
Lousy, eh? Hey, Mr. Plunger, there's a clog down there that even you could fix.
For a plumber you can trust, call Mr. Rooter.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
They are nice, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
Did you know The Brick is proudly Canadian owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a brick store near you.
Hey there, Alberta. Right now, tariffs threaten the livelihood of hardworking Alberta farmers, ranchers, processors, entrepreneurs, and their families. It's time to let them know we have their back. Now more than ever, we need to show our support by eating, drinking, and buying local whenever we can. Because when the going gets tough, Albertans stick together and stand strong. Learn more at alberta.ca/buy local. A message from the Government of Alberta.
The My Choice sales event is back at Nissan, where you can get the all-new boldly redesigned Kicks with best-in-class cargo space. Right now, choose Kicks S front-wheel drive with $1,200 in Nissan bonus or accessory credit, or choose 3-year prepaid maintenance. The choice is yours with My Choice. Hurry in, these offers won't last long. Head to your local Nissan dealer today. Available in leasing or financing through NCF. Conditions apply. See nissan.ca for details.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.245. Welcome back. We'll get to Evander Kane in a second, but I asked a question, so I want to get to it. I don't want to tease it too long. So I was asking about, what's the worst loss you can think of? And we got a lot of text coming in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Ricky and many others. Has to be the Falcons, Patriots Super Bowl, one of the biggest losses in modern Sports, yes, it was 28-3, and they gave it up. Hey, boys, Russell Wilson's pick on the goal line in the Super Bowl. Tough one right there from Reg. Yeah, that one was debated. Why didn't you just hand the ball off to Lynch? That will go down for sure as one of the more, questionable plays in NFL history. Just because of where the ball was situated, the time of the game, who you had in the backfield, everything. Right? I get but the other thing is, I would argue the smart play wouldn't even be the handoff to Lynch. The smart play would have been a quarterback sneak with Russell Wilson. Look at the efficiency of quarterback sneak. Look at the percentage for efficiency on that. But anyway, that was a great play by Malcolm Butler. No question. But I'm going to tell you guys. Now, we got lots of texts. What about Van de Velde? Oh, at the British Open. Remember when he got in the water? Oh, that was a monumental meltdown, wasn't it, Cons? But you could argue that one was it was self-inflicted. It was just oh my, you were watching, you're just what is this guy doing? It was a little bit like Tin Cup came to life, is what happened right there. Give me another ball. But I'm going to take now, many of you, obviously I wasn't alive for this either, so I've researched this. No one on the show was around. Well, LT on the station. That's it. Well, carries to a young buck, right? But how many of you were around that you remember and watched sports as an avid sports fan in 1968? Because I'm going to take you back 57 years ago, Connor Halley. And the date happened to be April 14th is when it occurred. Yesterday was April 13th. And Rory McIlroy coming down, at one point he's leading by 4 strokes. Then he ends up trailing. He gets back. Then he all he has to do is sink a 5-6 footer to win and get the Grand Slam. Missed it. But he found a way to bounce back. Now, he blew a 4-stroke lead. What was that, in 2009? 2011? It might have been 2011 when he blew the 4-stroke lead. So he's had some tough runs at Augusta. But I'm telling you, none match up to this loss, Connor Halley. And some of you probably have never even heard of this gentleman. Now, he won a British Open. He won it in 1967. And here he was, 1968, at the Masters. And he's battling Bob Goalby. And Roberto De Vicenzo is his name. Roberto De Vicenzo. He shoots an 11 under par, Connor Halley. So too did Bob Goalby, shoot an 11 under. Now, if you know golf, if I'm golfing with Connor puts in my score, I put in Connor's score. Tommy Aaron was golfing with DiVincenzo. On the 17th hole, DiVincenzo took a 3. Tommy Aaron marked a 4 on a scorecard. Now, you hand the scorecard and DiVincenzo reads over a scorecard. He missed it. They're supposed to be going. Now, back in 1968, the playoff wasn't like what you saw yesterday. The playoff was a full 18 holes the next day. There's no playoff. Incorrect scorecard because by the rule of PGA, and got to remember, in 1968, Connor, you know what? There was no score tent to go into. They changed the rule because of this. So because Tommy Aaron marked a 4, even though it was a 3, and DiVincenzo, by looking it over, you probably just assume hey, this guy's going to mark my score down, right? He missed it. Now, to his credit, DiVincenzo didn't blame the other one. He just said, you know what? His quote was, speaking to the press afterwards, and this is an exact quote, "What a stupid I am." Right? Oh my, now think about that. You actually tied. You legitimately did it. The other guy writes your scoreboard. Now, sure, you have to look it over, but in a quick, brief moment, when you're looking it over, you're probably just assuming, hey, this guy's going to mark my score down correctly. They put it in incorrect. They tally it up. He ends up being a -10, not a -11. And he loses the Masters because of it. How does that rank, Cons?
Because
you didn't lose, but you lost. Your actual actions of playing the sport, you didn't lose. Because the Falcons still allowed the Patriots to come back, right?
Yeah.
Their actions led to it. The decisions and the actions of the Seahawks cost them to lose that one. But his actions on the field, on the course, it was a tie. Can you think of a worse loss in pro sports?
It wasn't a loss, but Armando Galarraga's perfect game.
Yeah, that's the
pretty heartbreaking because he was there.
One. Yeah, that's a very good one.
That one comes to mind.
Perfect game. You're right.
In terms of doing everything right and losing performance-wise, that's a tough one. I mean, there's big blowouts for sure, but that's a good one, Gregor. That is a really good one.
Yeah, like think about it. Try to compare that to anything else, man. I'm telling you. That ranks up for me. Like, that's the worst way to lose. I can't think of a worse way. You didn't actually lose on actual stroke for stroke. You lost because someone wrote a 4 instead of a 3, and you didn't see it. Ooh. That is a kick in the nards. I'm telling you, that is a kick in the nards. So, basically, the higher written score signed by a golfer must stand. And that gave him his championship. Like, there's where sometimes common sense should come into play. I know people say, well, rules are rules. I get it, Kramer. I get it. But at some point, yikes. So there you go. There was a scoring table back then, but no scoring tent. Now there is the scoring tent behind the 18th green. So I don't know if they go in there and they ask somebody. Who knows? But imagine that. Never get another chance. Never won again. So
how are you feeling if you're Bob Golby, the winner?
Yeah.
It's like, I read my card correctly, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's true. Like Golby's like, well, those are the rules, but it's a pretty tough rule, man. Pretty tough rule. Hey, Gregor, well, that's why he missed it. It's true because the final score said he was -11, but because the scoreboard had it, like the guy, it said the right score at the end of the scorecard, right? -11. But if you added up the numbers that were written on each hole, that 4 instead of the 3, it wasn't correct. So it's hard for him. He sees his end score and he probably doesn't, because he's like, why? Why would you even bother to go through every hole? Now, I've never been an official golfer. So like, don't you just, okay, here's I'm -6. Okay, look, I'm -6. So it's -2 in the front, -4 in the back. I'm -6. I guess you go over each one. Ooh, that is a kick in the nards. I'm telling you that right now. So tough loss, boys and girls. Tough loss. Now, let's get to the oil report brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton. Stop in right now at Volvo and you can get great deals on an XC60 plug-in hybrid. You can lease it from 0.49% and save an additional $3,500 at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Evander Kane, he's getting close. And Kane just talked about, how he's feeling right now, less than a week away from the start of the NHL playoffs.
No, I'm feeling good. I've put in a lot of hard work ever since I had the surgery, and then obviously the knee surgery. Kind of right when I was about to start come back and start skating. Put a lot of work to feel really good up until this point, and I'm really excited to get going here. As soon as we get to 100%, which should be pretty soon.
Definitely pretty soon. What's the final step, if there is one, to get clearance?
I don't know exactly what the final step might be, or maybe I don't want to share it, but I think we're really close. Like I said, right from the get-go, I put in a lot of work to not have to have any setbacks through this entire process. I think you see it around the league, obviously with our team and the way some of the injuries have gone. It can be tough. I think I mentioned too, at the beginning of the year, my press conference kind of before I had surgery is, one of the things I want to make sure is that I don't end up back on an operating table again. So for me, that was really important. That's why I wanted to, go through the summer and have that type of a process to select the right medical team to kind of go through this rehab year with. And, I'm really, really happy with how everything's gone in my recovery. And I'm feeling really good on the ice. And, if you ask me if I'm ready for game one, I think I could barely skate, and I played in the playoffs last year. So, if you're comparing how I felt now to last year, I'm ready to go.
Well, there you go. He feels he's ready to go. It's close, and you could see Evander Kane game one, which isn't official yet. But the LA Kings play tonight. They play tomorrow. They play Thursday. The NHL is not going to have them play Saturday. Plus, the LA Lakers play Saturday at home in LA. So I would expect the Oilers and the Kings, they're either going to start Sunday or Monday. Last year, the playoffs started on a Saturday. The Oilers and the Kings didn't play till Monday. So it's possible they could wait. We'll see. But it's either going to be Sunday or Monday. Let's get to Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers. Truck month is on now at GMC. Get a $5,000 cash purchase credit on 2025 Sierra HD models. See more at gmccanada.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is a game day. Edmonton Oilers in action, hosting the LA Kings down at Rogers Place. Puck drop in this one just after 8 o'clock. You'll also the Sharks in Vancouver. Preds host the HC. Rangers up against the Panthers. Red Wings host the Stars. And the Blackhawks in Montreal. After missing the NBA playoffs and the play-in tournament with the largest payroll in league history, the Phoenix Suns have fired head coach Mike Budenholzer with a record of 36-46. It is the third straight year that the team has fired their head coach. Major League Baseball today, the Toronto Blue Jays hosting Atlanta. That gets going just after 5 o'clock. You'll also have the Yankees, Royals, Red Sox, Rays, Phillies host the Giants, Pirates taking on the Nationals, the Mets in Minnesota, Padres host the Cubs, and the Rockies up against the Dodgers. Women's World Hockey Championship, Canada knocked off Czechia 7-1, and now will advance to the quarterfinal. Their opponent will either be Germany or Japan, who meet tomorrow. And in the WHL, Victoria's in Spokane taking on the Chiefs. Spokane leads that series 1-0. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host and former NHLer Sean Brown. We'll also hear from Stephen Ellis of Daily Faceoff and Camp Date's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
DJ Booster coming at you live with warmer weather, longer days, and dropping 2 new booster mixes for April from Booster Juice. Pucker up, party people! The Sexy Berry Booster Mixer features raspberry and lemon in perfect harmony. Then turn it all the way up with Mango Mango Booster Mixer with delicious mango and pineapple notes.
Mix it up with the new Booster Mixers at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999. Download the Booster Rewards app and order one today.
Edmonton's premium live music and party venue is
On the Rocks.
Check out Bingo Tunes on Monday. Perform on the best stage in town with karaoke on Wednesdays. Learn how to salsa with Salsa Rocks on Thursdays. And every weekend, OTR goes live.
With your favorite bands on the OTR stage and DJ Kenny K.
For everything that's going on at On the Rocks, give us a follow.
Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
At On the Rocks, EDM.
Eat well, party hard.
On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
On the Rocks. Open every day till 2 a.m.
Spring, where everything is coming up roses, except for GS Construction. We're heading underground, and we couldn't be happier. Spring is always a busy time of year for everyone trying to get out there and do some work. Well, GS Construction agrees, and we also agree that we just might need some help. So if you're looking to work and join a group where safety, teamwork, and continuous improvement have been at our core since 1974, send us a resume. Come work with us this spring. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Oodle Noodle Origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing.
Monday
for up to 72 months
afternoon.
on the
Welcome
2025
to
Sierra
the Oilers
1500
Nation
Crew Cab Pro
YouTube,
Graphite
Facebook,
with a
and
Turbo
X.
Max engine delivering
The Gregor Show is
310
always
horsepower. GMC Pro
The
safety
Gregor-
features, including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds.
222. Welcome back.
Month.
Jason Gregor,
Ask your
Connor Halley,
GMC dealer
Sports
for
1440, Oilers Nation.
Service that goes the distance, just like your cart should. Keep your
None of
golf
my-
cart running at its best with expert service from the golf cart people. From regular maintenance to upgrades like LED lighting, lift kits, or sound systems.
245.
Spring experience.
Welcome
and
back.
Attention to detail.
We'll get to,
using genuine parts for a smooth, reliable ride.
we'll get
Whether
to,
you're boosting performance or just need a tune-up. Trust the team Alberta has counted on since 1997. The Golf Cart People. Book now at golfcartpeople.com.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Check out The Ridge Social Eatery, St. Albert. The Ridge is a locally owned, upscale neighborhood restaurant offering unbeatable daily features. Open daily at 11:30. Craving something late? Check out their new late-night menu from 8 till close. Enjoy brunch at The Ridge Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays until 2 p.m. Plus, there's open mic night every first Wednesday of the month and live music select Saturdays. Welcoming atmosphere, friendly staff, good times. For more, visit theridgestantalbert.com or social media.
The My Choice sales event is back at Nissan. Get our best-selling Rogue, ready for adventures with plenty of room for cargo and crew. Right now, choose select 2025 Rogue models with $1,500 in Nissan bonus or accessory credit, or choose 3-year prepaid maintenance. The choice is yours with My Choice. Hurry in. These offers won't last long. Head to your local Nissan dealer today. Available in leasing or financing through NCF. Conditions apply. See nissan.ca for details.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Need a solid foundation without the fuss? Richard and Kalina at DCL Pile Driving have your back. Locally owned, they offer straight, driven piles. No screwing around. Serving all of Alberta, DCL Pile Driving gets your foundation ready in hours with minimal ground disturbance. Perfect for tight spaces, whether it's for a deck, grain bins, or RTMs. Tell them the radio sent you and receive a special discounted rate. Call or text 587-322-PILE. DCL Pile Driving. Don't get screwed. Get piles driven.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Is Brownie not in? Just after 3 o'clock. How are you? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Also, sports1440.ca, the app, radio player, iHeartRadio, Stingray. You can get the Gregor Show anywhere you like. So playalberta.ca. Looking head to tonight, the Oilers and the Kings, there is still a very slight chance, but let's be realistic here. The Edmonton Oilers are 2 points back of LA. LA has the tiebreaker. So you can argue it's 3. So even if the Oilers win tonight and they beat San Jose, the Kings just need to win one of their final 2 games against Seattle or Calgary, and they still have home ice advantage because they would be tied in points with the Oilers. Like the Oilers, the odds of them not starting in LA are extremely slim. And I think that's they're playing the odds here. They think their chances of winning the series are much more slim because if you got guys banged up, because we got people texting, the Oilers should be dressing all their guys. You got to win rather than start on the road. I could not disagree more with that. Right? The Oilers could win tonight and still not get home ice advantage. Right? Because it's kind of outside of their control. LA controls it. All LA has to do is win one of their final 3 games. They can lose tonight and still split against Seattle and Calgary. And then they have it. So to me, the right decision is to do what the Oilers are doing. They're being cautious. McDavid's not going to play tonight. Draisaitl's not going to play. Hyman's not going to play. Wallman's not going to play. Stetcher is out. Frederick's still out. Ekholm's out long term. He wouldn't be an option anyway. It makes sense to me anyway to go about it that way. So, hey guys, I was only 12, but there's an iconic photo of that golfer slumped in a patio chair at the Masters after learning he had the wrong score and losing the Masters. From Marty. I'd have to look up that photo, but could you imagine, man? Like what an absolutely gut-wrenching moment that would have been for Roberto Davencio. Like that, oh man, like because he had won a major before. So thankfully, maybe you look back at, hey, won a major, so you can never take that away from him. But and he might not have won. He might have lost in a playoff because it was 18-hole playoff back then in 1968, right? Going up against now I have to look. I'm curious, did Bob Golby win any other majors? He won a Masters. That's it. So that's his only major. Good for him. Really good for him, but he might not have won it if the scorecard was correct. But there you go. Hey, guys, does McDavid play on Wednesday to get 100 points? Well, I don't think he plays to get 100 points. That's obviously an added bonus to it. I think he plays simply because he's healthy. They're just being cautionary. This is 3 games in 4 nights coming off an injury. They're playing the long game with McDavid. And the 100 points opportunity is just a benefit for him. But I believe that, yes, you'll probably see McDavid Wednesday in San Jose. Not 100%, but I think there's a very good chance. McDavid, he looked great yesterday. He's looked great in other game. Clearly, he's not banged up. And here's the reason I know he's not banged up. Usually when players are banged up, even if you don't have a morning skate, you stay in, you get treatment and everything. When I was coming into the facility and it was an optional skate, McDavid had been there. He was leaving. We passed vehicles coming in. And that's when I was like, all right, he's already leaving. You're not banged up if you're leaving that quickly. So that to me is the telltale sign a guy's not banged up because you're not staying for treatment. So this is just the Oilers being ultra cautious. So yes, I would think that you will have McDavid playing on Wednesday against San Jose because you know what? I know everybody's like, well, don't play any games you're going to risk injury. When a guy isn't injured, you don't think of being injured. Right? You just don't. And we can go around the league. There's lots of players who will play game 81 or game 82. Some will sit out both if there's a little nick, but there's lots of healthy players who play. And lots of healthy players who play and have nothing happen to them. Right? Happens all the time. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I get right now because there's lots of injuries, but anybody who's even remotely got a nick, they're going to rest them. Like they're going 11-6 tonight just because they don't have the cap space because they got so many guys who are banged up or in the case of McDavid, they opted to say, you know what? We're not going to go 12-6 because he's healthy enough. He could play. But they said, no, we're not doing it. We'll just go 11-6. Kind of shows you where their headspace is at. And I don't have much of an issue with it at all. So there you go. Hey, Gregor, wasn't that Dave Anchio's birthday when that happened? Oh, my God. You are correct. Yes, indeed it was. So that loss, Connor, that we talked about last break, about losing it with the incorrect scorecard, that happened on his birthday in 1968. So he would have been 45 because he was born in 1923. Yowzers. Gosh, that would be tough, man. Very difficult to overcome. But hey, he lived a good life. Lived till he was looking up. Lived till he was 94. Not bad. But he's in the World Golf Hall of Fame as well. So nice. He did find success in the early days of the PGA Senior Tour. He won the inaugural Senior U.S. Open in 1980, won the 74 PGA Seniors Championship. So had a really good golf career. I love that he officially retired in 2006 when he was 83. Oh my God, that's unbelievable. Was he still, I got to look, was he still playing on the Seniors Tour when he was like in his 80s? That's unreal. If he was. Fantastic. I'm looking, when was the last time he had any big wins? The Denver Post champions of golf. Oof. Well, he lost that one in a playoff record to Gary Player. There you go. Hey, Gregor, why can't they LTIR Echo and activate Kane for the final game from Team Dean? Theoretically, well, I have to look at Ekholm now. Can you put him No, you can't. You can't LTR him because he played 3 games ago. You have to miss 10 games to be on LTIR. Right? They were able to put Klingberg on retroactive LTIR because he got hurt on March 27th and then hasn't played since. That's 10 games. Ekholm just played, so he does not qualify for LTIR. Hey, Gregor, the Kings will just run the big guys all night, so I'd sit most of them too, from Sean. But would they, like, who does LA have that runs guys? Right, like Mickey Anderson can play cheap, Mikey Anderson. But look at their forwards. Tanner Jeannot, by the way, their most physical, toughest forward, he's not playing. But if I give you the Kings roster tonight, Anze Kopitar, does he have a history of running anybody? What about Kempe? Not really. Kuzmenko, no. Kevin Fiala, definitely not. Warren Fogle, not really aggressive. Trevor Moore, Phil Deneau. Byfield's big, strong guy. LaFerriere, maybe he's their most physical top 9 forward. Turcotte, Jeff Malott, Samuel Hellenius. Like, they don't really have those guys. And, like, you could argue, like, why aren't the Oilers? If people think they're going to do it, then why don't you think the Oilers are going to run LA's guys tonight? Right? Like, is Josh Brown going to go out there and cheap shot Kopitar? No. Right? Like, there is still somewhat of a level that players have of respect for one another that, it's game 81. I'm not just going to go out and cheap shot a guy. Like, I'm trying to think in the history of the game, have I seen somebody blatantly try to hurt someone in the final few games of the season? Like, I know it's something people talk about often, but have we ever actually seen it occur? Like, have you seen a team, we're facing this team in the playoffs, or we might face them in the second round, so let's cheap shot one of their star players? Can anybody think of an example where it's actually occurred? That's what I don't get. So, all right. I think it becomes something that people repeat and talk about, but doesn't really have any actual basis to it actually occurring. I'm trying to think. I don't recall it at all. Hey, Greggs, what can you tell us about Hudson? Well, Stephen Ellis is going to join us next, so he has a much better scouting report. He's watched way more games of Hudson than I have, and to be honest, I've only ever watched him play one game. So not enough to make any sort of assessment. Smart player. That's his best attribute. He's gotten better, really works hard, undrafted player. I think like anything, it's probably got to get a little bit stronger. I would say right now, he will come into the organization. I expect him to start in the American League next year. He's playing here now because it's part of the deal. Like Edmonton's like, hey, we'll sign you. You get in a game. It burns a year of your entry-level deal. He has a 2-year deal. Then he goes and plays next year. Then he gets a new contract. Now, the reason why some would say, well, why do you do that? There's a big reason, signing bonus reason. Because he's going to get within a span, because you get your signing bonus right now when you sign, and then he'll get another signing bonus that kicks in July 1st for next year. And so that's a significant amount of money that you'll get, right? Like usually a signing bonus, you'll get half of it on July 1st, and then you get the other half sometime September, October, depends on the year. Depends how they structure it. But usually it's kind of split up in two parts. So now sometimes for your first one, you get all of it up front, and then it's split up after that. But either way, you're a college player, right? You want to train, you want to do all that stuff. Now you don't have to worry about it because you get all your money for this year, signing bonus right now, and then you'll get another one again in July. So that's really the biggest benefit from a player standpoint. The organization, there's not a big risk here. I would argue it's more beneficial to the team. Because now he's going to play this year. He's going to play 2 games. He's going to play tonight and probably Wednesday. That's it. He's not eligible. And the other thing is, because he opted to do that, if you're not on the reserve list and you play in the NHL first, now you don't qualify to go in an ATO to play in the minors. So he can't, in case you're wondering. He could stick around, probably be a black ace and skate the whole time with Edmonton, but that's it. They might be better off to just let him go home and relax and then train properly. Because if he's not going to get in any of the games, why be here? That's just my thought process. So we'll see how long it goes as a black ace. So then he'll come into camp next year. He'll push for a job, sure. But I think ultimately he's going to start in the American League. And then we'll see what happens. Like, Tomasek he's on a one-way deal. He's 29 years of age. He just led the Swedish lead in scoring. I think he's got a better chance to play right away. So you look at Szymanski and Hudson. They'll both go into Bakersfield next year. The young guys, 23 years of age, that gives them some forwards who are younger that you're like, hey, these guys develop. Maybe they can be an NHLer. Because they don't have a ton of... After Matt Savoy, which forward is realistically close? You have Noah Philp. That's it. Right? Lane Peterson, older. Drake Caggiula. Drake Caggiula can come up and play if you need him. But you kind of know what he is at this point. So that's what they're doing here. They're getting some guys that... draft picks from basically 2020 that now you're like, hey, maybe this guy can help us. And that's what you're looking for. Take a quick break. When we come back, Steve Ellis, you can give us a little bit more updated scouting report on Hudson and more when we return to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
In 1973, deep in the basement of an Edmonton family home, an elite team of specialized forces came together to form Action Electrical.
Action Electrical Divisions, assemble.
Projects team reporting.
Service team reporting.
Testing team reporting.
Energy team reporting.
Supercharged with skills in their electrical fields and grounded by strong family values. Facing an electrical menace? Call on the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Hey, Alberta. The all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
At Fountain Tire, our focus is taking care of your vehicle. Your focus? Saving up to 25% off select tires. Plus, getting up to a $120 mail-in rebate on a set of 4 select tires until April 26th. So we both win. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Troll down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Is it Riverside Motorsports? No. It's Riverside Motorsports. Over 55 years in business, and people still get it wrong. Guess it's time to get it right.
Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience. But it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-660-0514 or visit EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
The Alzheimer's Face-Off presented by Christensen Communities Limited hits the ice April 25th to 27th. This Edmonton-based tournament pairs hockey fans with some of their favorites from the NHL Alumni Association for a fun-filled weekend featuring a champions luncheon and tournament. Teams are already fundraising in the community, enabling the Alzheimer's Society of Alberta and Northwest Territories to continue providing help for today through free education programs and support services, and hope for tomorrow through research. For more information or to learn how you can get involved, visit alzheimersfaceoff.ca.
Do it. Your vehicle is a big investment. Protect it at Hughes Car Wash. We use only clean, fresh water and the highest quality car wash soap. Hughes Car Wash, the car wash pros.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Edmonton Oilers. Guarantee access to this year's Stanley Cup playoffs by becoming an Oilers full or half-season seat holder for the 2025-26 season. Limited seats are on sale now. Visit edmontonoilers.com/season seats to secure yours today.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.322. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Hope you're having a lovely Monday. Oilers Kings tonight. Oh, by the way, do you want to go to the game? Got a sweet pair of seats in the Play Alberta, courtesy of Play Alberta in the Sportsnet Lounge for tonight. So not only do you get to go to the game, get to have some food. Nice. So, you know what? We'll just make it very easy today. All you have to do is text in. What will we text? How about text in your name, your email, and the Oilers leading score. Your name, your email, and the Oilers leading score. Text it in right now to 833 401 1440. 833 401 1440 in our email inbox. And Connor will pick a random winner. We'll give you a few minutes. Don't rush. Pretty simple. Your name, email, Oilers leading score. Now, let's get to our prospect report brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Oh, it's time to start thinking cool. LegacyHeating.ca as we welcome to the show From Daily Face-Off, Stephen Ellis joins us once again. Steve, welcome back, man. How you doing?
You know what? I think I've spent the last hour and a half looking at buying goalie pads, and I'm making myself mad for no reason doing that because I'm just like, oh yeah, $2,000, $2,500. Okay, never mind. So that's how I'm doing right now.
Goalie pads are $2,500.
Oh, there's like purpose-built ball hockey goalie pads that go over $2K. It's nuts. So like even just trying to find like, there's a certain point where the goalie pads got lighter. Like back in like the early 2010s. So trying to find someone who's offloading those has been a bit difficult, but it's I recommend to absolutely nobody to get into playing goalie. And like I play two of the most expensive sports you could possibly play, which is I do go-kart racing and I do hockey. And if people think hockey is expensive for kids, you can spend well over $1,000 on 4 tires for a go-kart, and you need many of those during the year. So think about that for a second.
Wow, I didn't know that. Put your kid in goal, man. It's tough. It's tough mentally. It's tough emotionally, and clearly is tough financially. Quinn Hudson is going to play tonight and likely Wednesday for the Edmonton Oilers. He's not eligible to play in the playoffs. Then he's not eligible to go to the American League. It's just a burn. First year of his entry level deal. You get the signing bonus. It's all great things. What type of player for Oiler fans who have never seen him are they getting?
Yeah, like I would not be shocked if these next 2 games are the only games we kind of see him in the NHL. I know that's kind of a pessimistic view, but this is not a guy that's come with the same type of hype or skill that his 2 brothers in Lane and Cole have. But when it comes to Quinn, this is someone who's had a long road to get to an NHL contract. He played 2 games with the U.S. National Team Development Program as a 20-year-old. Just think about that. U18, there's no rules. They put those rules of, you got to be 17 or 18 to play on this team. That's the USA Hockey just doing that themselves. But he filled in as a 20-year-old. And part of that was he just wasn't a high prospect at any point. He wasn't strong. He is kind of undersized like his brothers, but he is actually the biggest of the 3 Hudson brothers. Oh, by the way, there is a 4th Hudson brother, but he's a few years away from being drafted. But with him, it's more about being this guy who's got a lot of energy, who's got some skill. He put up a lot of points this year. A lot of that was on the power play, but you saw that chemistry with his brother and Cole setting him up, and the year before watching Lane set him up there. So he knows how to play with skilled guys. I don't know what type of NHL projection he's got there. He put up 50 points in college, but he's 23. He's an experienced guy. You kind of expect numbers like that as it is, but at the very least, this is someone who works hard, and that could get you into a bottom 6 role. I'm not 100% convinced for the long run.
So, yeah, and I think that's probably fair. He's there's lots of guys. Like I always like to tell people, there's maybe at any given time 5 players, maybe 6 in your American League team that might play in the NHL. That's just the truth, because it's hard when you get to that close near the top of the pyramid, it's hard to punch and break through. When you look at Hudson, what's the best attributes of his game?
It's the way he just hustles out there. He works hard, and he's actually quite physical for someone who's 5'11". So he can bring that energy to a game. We're not talking about a top 6 player. We are talking about someone who could fit in your bottom 6 if you can make a role for him there. And I will also say that going out and getting him is actually a very smart move, because the Oilers have a very weak pipeline, as we know. They need to get some extra scoring depth. You get that with Hudson here. Sure, he's not a high-end prospect, but you're not getting that out of college free agents anyways. But what you are getting is a top 10 college free agent from this year's class, and that's because his work ethic is just so impressive, and that should at least make him have a good pro career. And I got to see him up close at the Toronto Maple Leafs development camp last year, and while I felt like he was getting pushed around a little bit, having seen what I saw there compared to what I saw going into the NCAA playoffs, it's a player who's much stronger and much tougher to take the puck off.
Now, we look at some of the other ones. You look at a lot of these guys who came out of college, Steve, that signed. Now, some of them are draft picks, so it's a little bit different, like Snuggerud and others, people saying, hey, that guy's going to play. But when you look at some of the undrafted guys, who the Oilers just signed, how many of these guys you think, who do you give the best chance to become a regular NHLer?
It's that's the thing about this year. It's not a very strong college free agent group. You look at the guys like Ryan Leonard and Gabe Pearl, those guys we expect to be pretty big players. But, for me, it's just, are we going to see any of these guys play meaningful minutes. Because again, they're 23, 24 years old. You are farther along in your development pipeline. I'm drawing a blank on the name. The guy the Flyers just got, but he was just really good future fourth line player. But I think with this year, you're not getting, like last year, Colin Graff was the guy everyone was looking for. He goes and plays a big role for the San Jose Sharks. We didn't get one like that this year. I think a lot of people pointed to TJ Hughes out of Michigan as someone to watch because very skilled, can play if anyone, could play all situations. He decided to go back to University of Michigan for another year, which surprised a lot of people. But this year, I'm not expecting a ton of interesting prospects. I will say one that's not a college player, but a guy I am actually pretty high on right now, and that's Nathaniel Day, the goaltender, who goes right to the ECH. Yeah, the Oilers just signed him. He's a very big goalie. He played well over 100 games in the last 2 years in the OHL, which is pretty rare. But if you look at the stats, they're nothing special, but that's because he had to do so much heavy lifting for Flint, and I thought he looked excellent. Already in the ECHL, he's got 2 shutouts. He's allowed just 1 goal in 3 games. It is the ECHL, but that's one heck of a way to start your pro hockey career.
Yeah, there's good for Day. And, goaltending, man, it's a position that is incredibly, and you play it, Steve, so you'd know it's difficult to project. Like, you even play the position, you do a ton of scouting on guys, and you still would admit that the goaltender position is the hardest one to project out.
If someone wants to sign me to an NHL contract, I can also be unpredictable too. But it's definitely the hardest one, where you look at some guys that are like Jack Ivankovic. I got to watch him today. He's training to be Canada's number 1 for the U18 World Championship, and he might be one of the most skilled goalie prospects we've ever seen from a technical, or I shouldn't say, in the last 10 years, one of the most technical, advanced goalies we've seen. But he's 5'11", and you look at guys like Dustin Wolf and UC Saros and look at those smaller goalies, but that's the exception, not the norm. So you're dealing with that, and then you're having to compete against guys who play a lot of games compared to guys who play few games. It's easily the hardest position to project.
Steve Ellis joins us from dailyfaceoff.com. You mentioned Colin Graff. Like, he's on San Jose, the worst team in the league, and he can't be a regular on that team. Like, I watched a few of the Sharks game. They had him for a bit, then they sent him back down to the minors, and he's got good numbers in the minors. And we've seen lots of guys who can be good AHL players, and then it just doesn't translate to the NHL game. Now, maybe just the experience this year will help him immensely. So we'll see. But you look at, what about Szymanski? Coming over from Germany, big body guy that, he's obviously signed. He's a 2-way deal, a bigger body that can really skate. What do you make of him? And maybe what do you make of the whole German pipeline right now?
Yeah, I think the one thing that it seems like the Oilers have really targeted is getting guys who are hard to play against. And that's what Szymanski does. He's not going to go out there and light it up. He's never been that type of player, but he works so hard. He can be a tough guy to move in front of the net. Like, I'm always telling guys that I play with, like, just get someone in front of the net, because that's going to create so much damage. And that's what he does well, because he's so difficult to push off there. And when you look at just like German hockey as a whole, you look at World Championships, they're actually a contender for medals most years, even when they're playing against teams that are full of NHL players. The Olympics a couple of years ago, they made the finals, almost beat Russia. That was a very exciting game there. So German hockey as a whole has become so much better, and we're getting to the point where you look at the DEL, a lot of those guys in that top German league that would have in the past gone to the KHL for one reason or another, and most of it goes to the invasion. A lot of those players don't go to the KHL anymore. They stay home, and they make that a better league domestically. And that's what you really want when it comes to trying to develop players, where someone like Leon or someone like Tim Stützle didn't need to come over to the CHL to play. You can go there, stay in Germany, play pretty competitive hockey, and become a very good NHL player one day.
What about Thomas Ek coming over from Sweden next year for, you lead the Swedish, you lead any league in scoring. It's still pretty good. It's not an overly offensive league by any stretch. From what you've seen from him, World Championships, I know a lot of people really liked him. But what do you make of his odds of being, even just a regular NHL player?
I think it'll be interesting to see, because it's someone who can play center, he could play the wing. I like him in face-off, but I think that'd be more of a defensive zone thing than an offensive zone thing. I think for Oilers, you got to be pretty happy about that signing there, because it's another guy that is hard to take the puck off of. I think he's also very smart. He can play with skilled players. He was playing really high in that Czech lineup at the World Championship when they won gold. He fell back when David Pastrnak came in, but they still trusted him to play a big role for that team. So I think best case, you can hope that he can get into and maybe be like a second line player that you can count in at some point and say, okay, yeah, if he could chip some goals in. At worst, I think you're looking more like a fourth line player who can score close to 10 goals a game, and you'd still be happy because you got him cheap. You didn't have to waste any resources developing him. Like, he's ready to go. And that's what you're looking for when you're getting these European free agents.
Stephen Ellis, Jones of Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Steve, looking ahead to this draft class, and obviously the older fans, they're I don't really care about the draft, and I get it there later. Now, the top end part of this draft, do you have how close is it 1, 2, 3 in your eyes?
I think we're looking at there's the group of 4 at the top: Matthew Schaefer, Michael Misa, Porter Martone, and James Haggins. They're kind of ahead of the pack. I think right now there's only 2 super really legit number 1 options, and that might be Matthew Schaefer and Michael Misa. At the same time, you look at James Haggins, I feel like he's been very ignored because he didn't put up explosive numbers, but he had 37 points in 37 games in college as a freshman. That's still impressive. Yeah, it's not the 60 points or the 70 points we've seen from guys like Celebrini or Fantilli, but you also got to keep in mind that this is just someone who does so much away from the puck. He plays a similar game to Jack Hughes, where he's defensively responsible. He plays that two-way game, and so there's still a lot to like there. But you're looking at Schaefer, and he's a guy that I think we will be talking about in the same conversation as guys like Quinn Hughes and Adam Fox and Cale Makar as one of the top defensemen in the NHL. But then you're looking at Michael Misa, who is probably a 50-goal scorer in the NHL by year 4 or 5. So that's just 2 really exciting players you don't want to ignore. But it falls off after that. But that top 4 in particular is something you should be very excited about. Obviously, Oilers fans probably not.
Yeah, no, the Oilers fans aren't worrying about that. They hope they don't have a top 5 pick for a long, long time. I think they felt like they had their more than their share of it for extended periods. Now, Gavin McKenna is in the Western League right now. Scored an unbelievable goal. If you hadn't seen the highlights last night against the PA Raiders, just a very creative goal that he scored shorthanded. No doubt. And most people told me he would be the number 1 pick this year. Now, he's a late birthday, so he's not eligible until next season. When you see him and you compare him to the junior player of Bedard, I'm not comparing him to NHL. I'm just looking at a recent WHL player in Connor Bedard to Gavin McKenna. Similarities, differences in their games.
They're both so skilled, and they both just go out there and just can absolutely dominate people. You look at what Gavin McKenna, that goal he scored over the weekend, just unbelievable. So skilled, so smart, and everything like that. When you look at the comparisons, I think that McKenna's definitely a little stronger. So he's got that going for him. That's never been Bedard's forte. Okay. I think Bedard is slightly more creative, but I think McKenna's a bit more well-rounded at this point. When you look at pure skill, I still think Connor Bedard is just got a level that very few players can compete with. But Gavin McKenna would be the number 1 player in the draft this year. And for as good as Matthew Schaefer is and as good as Michael Misa is, I think there's a good argument that neither of them are going to be in the NHL next year. Gavin McKenna would be good enough to be in the NHL next year. So I'm really excited about him. It's about as close to Bedard as I think we're going to see for a while, but it's also kind of a good sign of what's coming out of the Western pipeline, where you look at Bedard a couple of years ago, Celebrini, he's from the Vancouver area. Then you're looking at this year, it's not exactly a Western powerhouse, but then you're looking at McKenna next year, you're looking at Landon DuPont, and there's a few more really high-end guys coming out west. So it's a good time to start watching WHL hockey.
Steve, great stuff, man. Appreciate the rundown. Enjoy the playoffs.
Yeah.
There you go. That's Stephen Ellis from Daily Faceoff. Quick break. We'll come back. We got the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate. More from Evander Kane, Chris Knobloch, as we will give you an update because it's long on the Oilers injuries, the Oilers resting, who's playing tonight, who isn't playing tonight, and Cons will pick a winner to go to the game. That and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
I take possession of my commercial space in 3 months. I need lighting. I need a fire alarm. I need data. I need a generator. I need panels.
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Projects team reporting. We design, build, and construct all the electrical systems for your projects. Need everything to work right? Get the Action Electrical project team on your site.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
If you or someone you care for are injured in a motor vehicle accident, please listen up. I'm Grant Fedoruk from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and let me proudly say that we won't be the place your insurer tells you to go. We won't be the place because we don't sign agreements with the insurance company. We don't work for them, we work for you. We do want to be the place that your friends, family, and other medically trained professionals send you. So if your insurance company says that you have to see their therapist, you should know that's not true. You have the right to choose where you go, and we hope you choose us. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Truck Month is on now at GMC, and it's one of the best times to get behind the wheel. Right now, get a $5,000 cash purchase credit on 2025 Sierra HD models with a 13.4-inch diagonal center touchscreen, an available Duramax 6.6-liter turbo diesel V8 engine with 470 horsepower. Plus, the most trailering assistance technologies in its class. Sierra has some serious hauling power and is the only off-road ready HD. Truck Month is on now. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
At McDonald's, there are new breakfast sandwiches with a secret ingredient.
A secret ingredient?
It's a little sweet, born in the cold, cradled by spring.
Gotcha. It's maple.
Well, yes, but let me finish. It's made
with 100% Canadian maple syrup?
Right again. It's a brand new smoky maple sauce featured in...
Oh, some new McD's breakfast sandwiches.
And you can try it
before 11 a.m. only.
Wow, you're good at this.
I know what I like. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For a limited time at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Spring into savings at The Brick. Refresh your home with huge discounts. Get up to 35% off sofas and sectionals and up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. Dreaming of better sleep? Upgrade your mattress game. Get a king for the price of a queen on select mattresses. Plus, save the tax when you buy 3 or more major kitchen appliances. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, proudly Canadian since 1971.
For a rock-solid start on all your spring and summer projects, Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete to septic tanks, precast water pads to outhouses, plus aggregates, landscaping supplies, and more. Renos, construction. Start planning right now at BashawConcrete.com or call 780-372-3854. That's 780-372-3854. Family owned and operated, proudly serving Albertans since 1963. Bashaw Concrete Products.
Oh.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Feeding a crowd? Get the triple play. 3 large specialty or 5 topping pizzas for only $54 when you use promo code 3play at papajohns.ca.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.345. Welcome back. Final week of the NHL regular season. Also, as the NHL wraps up. The NBA season is over, and you have playoffs going on. The play-in games will get going this week in the association. It starts tomorrow, Atlanta at New Orleans. You got Memphis taking on Golden State, and obviously the LA Lakers, which their schedule does impact the orders because they will open at home on Saturday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That game will be at I think 6:30 Edmonton time. So there's no chance Edmonton's playing Saturday, which they never were. So it depends, and because they've only announced game 1 so far in the NBA. Are they going to play game 1 on Saturday and then game 2 Monday? Sometimes they'll have an extra day off between games in the NBA a little bit. So we'll see. I could see a Sunday, Tuesday, right, with the Lakers going Saturday, Monday. That would seem to make sense. But I think a Sunday start for the Oilers and the Kings seems logical for many reasons. Arena availability being one. Now, maybe the Lakers aren't going to play until Tuesday. And then the NHL is like, well, rather than play Sunday, Wednesday, would we rather just wait and go Monday, Wednesday? Right? That's always part and parcel. There is, of course, TV that plays a factor. The Maple Leafs and Ottawa are unlikely to start on Saturday either because they're both playing on Thursdays. The Capitals play Thursday. So, Montreal, Toronto. Now we'll see what happens on, I could see it, both of them playing maybe at different times on the Sunday, right? Because it's Eastern. You could have one in the afternoon. They have a lot of afternoon games on a Sunday. And then a little bit later on, like have Toronto they obviously want Toronto in Sportsnet at the 5 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock Eastern slot. It's pretty much locked in for them. And I know Oilers fans aren't going to love it, but be prepared. You're likely going to have some 8:52 puck drops. You've kind of become accustomed to it, dating back to when the Oilers. Remember when they played the Flames? Yeah, it was 8:52. There's a few of those games last year, and you're probably going to have a few more of those this season. It's just how it goes for the first few rounds. And if you get to the third or the fourth round, well, then it's great. Then it's 6:20 every night. Puck drop. It's fantastic. So there you have it. Cons, did you get it? Did you pick a winner for the tickets?
Big winner today is Nick. Nick's going to go to the game. He said, I've never won anything. So congrats, Nick. You're going to get there early, I hope. Take advantage of the great food up there.
I like it. Jonathan from Culligan sent us 3 seats. So all of you who entered to win that first draw, guess what? Now, by doing nothing, just by listening, you're entered into another draw. And Cons will pick another person to win 3 tickets, courtesy of Culligan, to go to the game tonight. 3-pack. I like it. So you know what? Maybe mom or dad take 2 of your kids. Maybe you only got 3 in the family. Then, mom, dad, and your solo child, whatever you want. Maybe your kids are older now. You send them. Or maybe, you know what? It's somebody without kids. And you're just like, you know what? I want to go to the game. Have a little bit of a 3 buddies, 3 friends. Nothing wrong with that. So we'll get into that. Cons will pick up a winner for that as well. Now let's get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by eWell, your partner in power since 1975. For all your electrical gear, go to ewel.ca.
A Friday Sports, 1440. Out for the first round. Those 5 words are making their way around the Edmonton Oilers and their fan base. And for that matter, the hockey world. First round, they say. Mattias Ekholm, the sturdy Finnish defenseman who has been struggling since the 4 Nations Cup, came back Friday night against San Jose right there, Gregor, and he only was out there for 2 shifts. Right, Connor Halley? For what was it? A minute 52 of ice time? Now, aside from Zach Hyman, Ekholm had to be former Oilers general manager, Ken Holland's. Best trade he made during his time, here in Edmonton. And dare we suggest number 14 has been the best Oiler defenseman? Yes, let's be daring. So to announce Ekholm will not play in the opening round of the best-of-7 series of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And as you told Low Tide, Gregor, the first series is. Minimum for Ekholm to be out is bold. Has to be. But there's an intriguing element of confidence in making the move. Oilers fans should believe, and why shouldn't we, that the Oilers coaching staff is confident with their core. In the playoffs, playing hurt is common. We just don't know about it. So one has to wonder if, perhaps, the Oilers coaching staff would play Ekholm if they really, and I mean really, needed him. The rest, it will be beneficial for him. And it would be a bigger blow if Ekholm returned sooner than what he should and risk an injury after, say a few periods, or worse yet, a few shifts. And that could lead to the end of his season, if not, his career. Listen, we know the Oilers are a different team than they were a year ago. So if they're going to have success, they will do it differently, including different lineups, different defensive combinations, which will make a most interesting, entertaining spring. Please consider becoming a register organ donor. 2-minute warning with Tater, Monday, Friday Sports, 1440.
Yeah, and I can tell you this, Ekholm, there's no chance. The coaches, this is not, wow, we're going to rest him. No, he's not eligible. He's not going to be ready to play, unfortunately, for the first round. And at this stage, man, he's out a while. Not week to week, a while. I think it's best case scenario, you're talking third round, maybe even longer. So you just got to rewire yourself to be set that you're not going to see Ekholm with the Oilers anytime soon. So the question's going to be, how is the coach going to work the D pairs? I think you're going to see Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse, Jake Wallman, Brett Kulak playing a lot. And then, they'll mix in Emberson and Stetcher. And who knows if he's ever healthy enough, and if they want him in Klingberg, maybe even Cam Dineen if they think, hey, maybe we need a lefty. If we're going to play, Wallman, Nurse, and Kulak all in our top four, maybe we want a lefty in the third pair. So those will really be their options. And they're going to miss Ekholm, no question. It's going to be a big loss. The Jake Wallman trade looks even more important today because of it. Because I thought when they had Wallman, they had legit top five. And now, even though one of them is going to have to play the right side, I still believe that they're pretty confident, because one was going to play the right side anyway in their top four, even if Ekholm was healthy. Because one of Wallman or Kulak was going to play with Nurse. It's just how it was going to be, probably Wallman. And now will be, is it Kulak and Bouchard? Is it Wallman and Bouchard? Is it Nurse and Bouchard? It might be all of them at different times. I think that's what we're going to see. But you're going to, Evan Bouchard here, since Ekholm's gone down, people probably don't notice it, but Evan Bouchard's game has ratcheted up here as of late, as have the Oilers. The Oilers are down the stretch here. They're 6-2 with a lot of games without McDavid, without Draisaitl, without Ekholm. Nugent Hopkins missed some games. Hyman missed some games. They're 6-2. And most importantly, they've only allowed 17 goals in that span. This team, offense to me is never really an issue. You got Connor McDavid, you got Leon Draisaitl, you've got enough other guys. Like, look at Adam Henrique suddenly got 9 points in his last 11 games. Connor Brown has 5 goals. Arvidsson has 5 goals. Corey Perry continues to score, the ageless wonder, at 39. Bouchard has 13 points in his last 11 games. And by the way, Draisaitl's played 3 of those, as has McDavid. So you can't say, oh, it's because of those guys. Right? You got lots of, Nurse has 8 points in that time. You got offense, to me, has never been an issue in Edmonton. It just hasn't. I can't remember. Oh, geez, they lost because they couldn't score. Now, you might, scoring 2-1 in a Stanley Cup final game 7, it would be nice to score another goal. Yes, no question. But offensively, when you look at the averages, that's not a concern. When the Oilers can limit their chances and limit goals against, they got way more chance of success. And we've seen that down the stretch. Tonight, I think you're probably going to see a low event game. The Oilers know at most they can win is probably scoring 3. And they might have to win scoring 2. Without Hyman, without McDavid, without Draisaitl, it's pretty tough. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Those 3 are all going to be in the lineup in the playoffs. It's a very different strategy and a very different approach. But tonight, I think this will be a low event hockey for the Edmonton Oilers. It just will. And that's okay. It's the game. Mathematically, the Edmonton Oilers have a chance to get home ice. And it's only because it's mathematically. The Kings got to win one of their final 3 games. And Edmonton can't catch them. Doesn't matter what they do. Right? So Edmonton doesn't control their destiny. That's why, anybody wondering why the Oilers are resting McDavid tonight and some others, that's why. This game ultimately isn't going to change the outcome of the season. Just like tonight's outcome, do you read much into it? If Edmonton, because LA, all their top guys are playing. Drew Doughty's back in the lineup. Jeannot is out now. He's more of a fourth-line energy guy for them. And Joel Edmondson, who's been a top 4 defenseman. Look at minutes played. Look at everything else. 4 goals against. So that's a blow. But, he's not a dominant player by any stretch. But it's a blow. If the Oilers can limit LA tonight, to me, that should just improve their confidence that come playoff time, if they have to win a low-scoring game, they can do it. Because to me, if I'm the Edmonton Oilers and I'm confident that I can limit the chances of the Kings, play a patient defensive game, because eventually chances are going to come. And if I've got McDavid and Draisaitl on my side, I will take it that I think I can capitalize on more of the few good chances. And I think we've seen that. Edmonton won games 5-4, 6-4, but they also won 2-0. They won 1-0. They won 1-0 again. They've won the low-scoring games too, and that's their advantage. So if they can do it tonight without Ekholm, without McDavid, Draisaitl, and they can just limit it, doesn't mean they'll win, but if they can limit it, to me, that's what I look for. Even if they lose the game, it's more so how do they play in the chances around it against an LA team that has been incredibly healthy down the stretch. Like Drew Doughty missed a few games because he got hurt, nicked up in that Edmonton game in Edmonton, but that's really it. Like their top 9 forwards are playing all the time, which is good for them. Edmonton wishes their top 9 forwards played all the time. But the Oilers, look at tonight's roster and then recognize that you're going to have 4 top 9 forwards who aren't playing tonight who will be in the lineup in game 1 against the Kings. McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, and Vander Kane. And potentially 5, Trent Frederic. I don't know. I'm not that confident that Trent Frederic's going to be ready for game 1 at this stage. Maybe later. We'll see. Quick break coming up after the sports update. We got Patrick O'Neill. We'll hear from the King side of things. What kind of matchups is Hiller looking for? Is that now? It's hard to get anything from tonight's game because McDavid and Draisaitl aren't playing. But what has he seen down the stretch here from Hiller when it comes to matchups? Is it automatically going to be Kopitar versus McDavid? Is it Byfield versus Draisaitl? I think they want Deneau. Do they still want Deneau against McDavid? Find out. Let's get to the Conman Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by Fountain Tire. Up until April 26th, you can save up to 25% off select tires and get an additional $120 rebate right now. Book your appointment at fountaintire.com, and also your first chance to win and qualify for the Here Comes the Sun $15,000 home solar system coming up next.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game day, the Oilers in action tonight down at Rogers Place, taking on the Kings Pub Drop just after 8 o'clock. We've got pregame coverage for you here on Sports 1440. Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro getting going at 6. Elsewhere, Stars take on the Kings, Panthers and Rangers, Utah in Nashville, and the Canucks up against the Sharks. After missing the NBA playoffs and play in tournament with the largest payroll in league history, the Phoenix Suns have fired head coach Mike Budenholzer with a record of 36-46. It's the 3rd straight year the team has fired their head coach. Major League Baseball today, Blue Jays in action, kicking off the series, hosting the Atlanta Braves. That gets going just after 5. You also got the Boston taking on the Rays. Yankees host the Royals. Tigers in Milwaukee. Cards up against the Astros. Cubbies taking on the Padres, and the Dodgers welcome the Rockies to Dodger Stadium. And at the Women's World Hockey Championships, Canada knocked off Czechia 7-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. Will they take on either Germany or Japan? WHL action tonight. You've got Victoria meeting Spokane. Chiefs lead that series 1-0. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we've got the first edition of Here Comes the Sun. Also, we'll go to LA, talk some Kings with Patrick O'Neill, and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
The locks are on a timer. They're going to get out.
Sounds like job 4. the men and women of Action Electrical.
Service team reporting. With the remarkable reach of our bucket trucks and other equipment, we assess, service, and maintain your electrical lighting and automation systems.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this truck month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
At McDonald's, there are new breakfast sandwiches with a secret ingredient.
A secret ingredient?
It's a little sweet, born in the cold, cradled by spring.
Gotcha. It's maple.
Well, yes, but let me finish. It's made
with 100% Canadian maple syrup?
Right again. It's a brand new smoky maple sauce featured in...
Oh, some new McD's breakfast sandwiches.
And you can try it
before 11 a.m. only.
Wow, you're good at this.
I know what I like. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For a limited time at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Adventure just doesn't stumble into your life. It roars to life with Riverside Motorsports. Tearing up trails or cruising the open road. Yamaha ATVs, side-by-sides, motorcycles, and dirt bikes deliver the performance you crave. Built for thrills, ready for your next adventure. Yamaha's legendary performance and reliability take you there. Make Mother Nature your playground on a Yamaha from Riverside Motorsports. Located on St. Albert Trail. Ride Riverside. Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
Metal Supermarkets is locally owned, locally operated. They love this city and serving its people. In fact, there is Edmontonian is dodging potholes in the spring.
X, and Instagram. Also, sports.
Ironically, the same skills for cutting metal to your precise measurements. Now, can someone please give me a yeehaw?
Facebook and X. Hope you're having a lovely.
Stores for
Hope you're
Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Need a golf cart that works as hard as it plays? The golf cart people can help. They offer a wide selection of new and used models, including Club Car. Whether you're after a lifted cart for the cabin or a sleek ride for the course, they'll help you find the right match. Add accessories or explore ready-to-go options available now. Trusted by Albertans since 1997. The Golf Cart People delivers quality and experience. Visit golfcartpeople.com to find your cart and hit the road or the fairway your way.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. The team in Ulster Strathcona have special training dedicated to reducing the impact of cancer care before, during, and after diagnosis. From lymphedema to the management of fatigue and side effects of chemotherapy and radiation, they can help. Learn more at leadingedgephysio.com.
Pro sports, local sports, minor leagues, you got it all. It's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Thanks as always for listening and watching. The show is always presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game. Use the promo code Gregor100 and you'll get a free $100 bonus. Sign in before you make your deposit and for any new players. Pretty sweet. PlayAlberta.ca. The Oilers taking on the LA Kings tonight. Oilers, let's update you quick if you're just joining us. So here's who's in, here's who's out. So who's out? Connor McDavid. Resting, no injury. They don't want him to play 3 and 4 nights, even though he's been killing it since he came back. Leon Draisaitl. Close. Draisaitl is, he's a maybe for Wednesday. He's 100% for game 1 of the playoffs. Jake Wallman, out tonight, maybe Wednesday, 100% for the playoffs. Zach Hyman, out. Troy Stetcher, out. If this was playoffs, they would play, but they're giving him rest. Evander Kane spoke for the first time. He's out. He believes he's very close, ready to get the green light to play in the playoffs. At least that's what he's hoping for. Just as he didn't outline exactly what's left to get the full green light, but he's close. And says obviously hasn't felt this good in a long time, playing injured most of last year. Then he had the wrist injury the year before that. So if you can get Kane healthy, that would, and just, 100% healthy, that'd make a difference. Matthias Ekholm not going to play for he's out a while. Don't plan for the first round. Probably don't plan for the second round. And then after that, maybe, if the Oilers are still in for Matthias Ekholm. Also out tonight, Derek Ryan, Noah Philp. They've been reassigned to Bakersfield due to salary cap issues. The Oilers they signed Hudson. He will play tonight. They also had to recall Josh Brown because Troy Stetcher can't play, and the Oilers didn't want to play 5 defensemen for the 3rd time in 4 games. You just don't hey, as Brett Kulak said, it's great, man. You feel better. You're playing more, but you don't want Kulak and Nurse and Bouchard playing 28 minutes every night leading up to the playoffs. So they'll bring in Josh Brown tonight. So the Oilers will go 11 forwards and 6D because Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is coming back in the lineup. So what are the lines going to be? It's kind of a guess. Nugent-Hopkins maybe with Brown and Skinner, Henrique with Perry and Arvidsson, Janmark with Podkolzin and Hudson maybe. And then you got Kapanen and Jones. So they'll be mixing around amongst the 11 forwards. On defense, Wallman's out. Probably have Nurse and Bouchard. They played together last game. Then you've got Brown with Dineen, Emberson and Kulak. Could probably see that as your 3 pairs tonight. Again, with some mixing and matching. Calvin Pickard will start in goal. The Kings relatively healthy. The only guy who's out will be on the back end is Joel Emberson, and up front, Tanner Jeannot still out for the LA Kings. Now, let's get to it. This is day 1. We're going to do this every day until Friday, May 16th. We're going to have 1 entry every day. You're going to qualify to win a turnkey solar system for your home valued at $15,000, courtesy of Action Electrical. So here's a few things. You have to reside in the Edmonton area plus $50K outside. Okay? 2, you must be a homeowner. They don't want to install this on a home that you rent. No, you got to be a homeowner. Also, your shingles, 12 years or newer. The reason that is, they don't want to put it on your house if your shingles are 20 years old, because then you're going to have to take them off relatively quicker for this. Not going to be great. Now, if you win and you have an older home and then you're going to put on new shingles beforehand, totally fine. Just keep that in mind. Also, the final step for you, because today you'll qualify, but then to 100% get in the draw on May 23rd, you will need to submit a paragraph. And this is 2 reasons. Why you want the solar system, why you like it, why you deserve it. And then B, if you want, you can gift it to someone. Maybe you want to give someone a real big gift. Pretty cool. And then you'll have to send that in. All the details, if you go to jasongregor.com, Sports 1440, you'll see it on the front page. It's pretty easy on how to qualify. So right now, today, it's going to be very easy. We are going to take caller 14, 833 401 1440. Caller 14. It's April 14th. We won't always do it. We'll do something different. Sometimes we do texts. Sometimes we'll do trivia. Today, to qualify, caller 14, 833 401 1440. Connor will start by answering the phone. And there we go. Okay? Nice. And don't swear at Connor if you're caller number 12 or 13, okay? He's just answering the phones. He's just going through the calls. Kind of how it goes. Also, Trent Frederick. Now, I didn't mention him. Frederick's obviously out. He's not playing tonight. He's not playing Wednesday. He is a maybe for game 1. Of all the guys injured, Frederick's the only one who I'm not confident will play in game 1. McDavid, he's not hurt though, by the way, he's just rested. Draisaitl, Hyman, Stetcher, Wallman, those guys are in for game 1. Evander Kane, I think there's a really good chance he's going to play in game 1. Trent Frederick, even the coach was like, well, I'm not sure. I get the sense that it might be later in the series. So there you go. Hey, Gregor, McDavid's not going after NHL history with another 100 points. Are the Oilers somehow unaware the hockey world is following this? From GM Parisian? Well, I think the Oilers are well aware of it. But do you think Connor McDavid can get 1 point against the San Jose Sharks on Wednesday? I'd say the odds are pretty decent. And so they're aware of it, but they look and say, hey, give McDavid an extra rest. Doesn't play 3 games in 4 days. I expect McDavid will play on Wednesday. Not just to get the record, but make no mistake. I'm a big believer in history. And Connor McDavid gets 1 more point this year. He has the opportunity then. He will be only the 4th player in NHL history, 4, to have 8 100-point seasons. And he'll have done it in his first 10 years in the league. And it really would have been 9 if it wasn't for COVID slowing down the and canceling the final 11 games of 2020. He needed 3 points. I'm pretty sure he'd get 3 points in 11 games. He's never gone 11 games, though, 3 points ever. All right. So Cons, we got a winner.
We got our winner.
Who is our lucky qualifier today?
Today it is the King of Fort Nasty.
The King of Fort Nasty. King, is that your real name, King? All right. Okay.
That's my last name.
Oh, okay.
Wayne King.
Wayne King. All right. Well, that's good, Wayne. Wayne, you own your home?
I do.
Okay. Well, that's good. You have qualified automatically. You're in the draw to get a $15,000 solar system. Now you can keep it for yourself, or you have a chance. You don't have to answer right now. If there's someone you wanted to, you could gift it them an opportunity as well, but it'll be your choice. You can either keep it or gift it. All right.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. We'll get all your email information and then we'll send you to finalize. You do have to send in a paragraph to Action Electrical. I can explain it to you on email. It's super simple. And away you go. You have to get that in before May 20th. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you, boys.
Awesome. Well, there you go. WK. And he's in. It's that simple. So every day, 4:00 for the next few weeks, your chance to qualify. Here comes the sun, courtesy of Action Electrical. And that is a massive prize pack, man. $15K. Woo. If you're thinking about it, it's pretty good. So don't worry. We don't always do callers. Sometimes we do trivia. Sometimes we do callers. It rolls through. When we do the text contest, we like to get everybody a little bit of time. So don't worry. It's got to be different every day. So there you go. Hey, Gregor, I didn't even know about McDavid and the 100 points. Who were the 4 guys? Well, he'll be 4th. Wayne Gretzky did it 15 times. Mario Lemieux had 10 100-point seasons, and Marcel Dion had 8. So it's pretty unique, a unique group of elite players. And when you look at McDavid's career, and I actually wrote about this when he got to 5, I thought there was an excellent chance that Connor McDavid was going to finish second all time. And I even said, I would not rule out that McDavid will, when his career is over, will have had a chance to chase Gretzky for 15. Because you think about it. So this is 8 and 10, because I firmly believe he's going to get a point on Wednesday. That's 8 and 10. And it really could have been 9. So it looks like right now, CBA, everything's pretty good there. There's not any fear of a shortened season that way. Let's hope to think that there'll be no future COVID anytime soon. That would be nice for all involved. All of us, I think. So I look at McDavid, and the great players are extending their careers. We've talked about this a lot. Like the height of their greatness lasts longer. So McDavid, it'd still be hard, don't get me wrong. But I think he would have a chance to tie Gretzky. It'd be hard to beat him because then he'd have to do 8 in the next 10 years. That's pretty hard. 7's really hard. But man, at the rate he's going, like he's a 1.5 per game right now. Because you got to remember, he's got 99 points this season. He's only played 66 games. He's only going to play 67 games this year, and he's probably going to get to 100 points. So you think about, being a 100-point player like David Pasternak, who's going to play all 82 games for Boston. He's got 104 points. So McDavid could, quote, drop to being a 1.25 points per game player and still get 100 points. Even lower than that. So that's kind of the advantage of where you're at with him. And if he stays healthy, I don't see any reason why he's definitely not at least passing Mario Lemieux. And then we'll have a chance to maybe push Gretzky to get near 15. Like, it's mind-blowing. It is. And so I believe that the Oilers are aware of it. And when people, Connor doesn't care about the records, I would disagree. It's not his main focus. It's just one part of the step of the equation when you come to his whole career. And he doesn't think about 100 points. He just thinks about wanting to do his best. And the other thing is, McDavid has said numerous times, he likes to get in rhythm. He likes to be, I don't think they're going to have him have a whole week off leading up to the playoffs because he likes to touch the puck. Now, would it hurt him? Probably not. But if he likes it and he feels he plays better, why wouldn't you say, yeah, we'll play against San Jose? You can play 15 minutes in the game. No problem. That's what I see happening on Wednesday. Hey, guys, I have to admit, I was pretty disappointed when the Oilers gave Corey Perry $1.4 million. God, was I ever wrong. Has he been better than you expected? Frank, I don't know anybody who thought Corey Perry was going to score 18 goals this year. And he's scoring 18 goals playing, 11 and a half minutes a night? That's awesome. Good for him. He's a competitor. He shows up. He competes all the time. And he's got great hands, and he's got great instincts around the net. So, hey, he's been an unbelievable signing for the Edmonton Oilers. Unbelievable. So, you look in, where Corey Perry's playing right now, I don't think there's any chance you can take him out of the lineup when the playoffs start. I honestly think Jeff Skinner probably starts with McDavid and let's go Hyman. Then you've got Draisaitl, Arvidsson. I could see Kane going there. Then you got Nugent Hopkins. Now, he might play with Arvidsson and Paul Colson, but I could see Kane and Arvidsson going there. So then you have Nugent Hopkins play with Connor Brown, maybe Janmark. But if Trent Frederick's healthy, it's going to be Trent Frederick. Then you go to your fourth line, Adam Henrique, right? Corey Perry. Probably Matthias Janmark because he's more of a penalty killer than Pod Colson. As good as Pod Colson's played, you get Frederick and Kane back in, he might come out of the lineup. That just shows how deep your lineup is. That doesn't mean he'll come out every game, but you'll have some guys rotating in and around. I won't be surprised at all to see that. And it might be Corey Perry. It might be some other guys. Jeff Skinner. And by the way, congratulations to Jeff Skinner. Because Jeff Skinner, now he has played 1,076 NHL games. He'll probably get to 1,078. And then he'll play his first NHL playoff game. Now, he holds the NHL record, no surprise, for most games played before making the playoffs. The previous record was Ron Hainsey, who played 907 games before going to the playoffs. And when he made his first playoffs, he won a Stanley Cup. So you're telling me there's a chance. What about Olli Jokinen? He played 799 games before getting to the playoffs. And then the other top 5 now are currently active players. Rasmus Ristolainen in Buffalo and Philadelphia, and Zemgus Girgensson, who's played in Buffalo and Tampa Bay. Now his will end because he's going to play with the Tampa Bay Lightning this year. So that's 2 of the top 5 guys out. And then other active players, no one's really close after that. There's a few guys in the Sabres maybe, but they're a few years away because there's no one even. Top 10 is Stephen Weiss at 637. So all the 3 active players are going to be out of the top 10. So There you go. And Jurgensen's, well, no, that's not true. My apologies. Rasmus Ristolainen, he's not making the playoffs. Philadelphia Flyers. So he will be the highest active because Skinner will no longer be there. We'll see if Rasmus Ristolainen, like he's going to pass Olli Jokinen next year for sure because he's going to play, 50, 60, 70 games, whatever the number is. And then he'll be in the 800s before he makes the postseason. And if he's in Philly next year, he ain't making the postseason. Tell you that right now. Flyers ain't making the playoffs next year. I don't see how. So he's probably got to hope he gets traded. But that's like Jeff Skinner. I talked to him about it after the game on Friday night. Friday night. And just said, hey, man, like 1,075 games. This is the first time in your career you've qualified for the playoffs. And the guy's like, man, that's why I signed here. And it's obviously he's not in the playoffs yet. But it would be great to talk to him once he gets to the playoffs because you can talk about it and people can tell you, oh, it's different. But I think until you experience it, you don't truly know. And so I'm kind of going to be fascinated. It's like Skinner to play this many games, 1,078 games before he plays a playoff game. Like, you don't think that guy is going to relish that moment and cherish it? And I'm going to be fascinated to see kind of how he handles that. Because the last time he was in the playoffs was in 2010 as a member of the Kitchener Rangers. He played 20 playoff games that year. That was his draft year. He was 17. He played 20 playoff games. He had 20 goals. He had 33 points in 20 games. Now, I know it's the only at the OHL level, but still, the only time he got in the playoffs, he showed up. Now, I don't think he's going to average a goal a game in the NHL playoffs. Be great. Probably going to be, I don't think I'll be wrong on that. But what's Skinner going to bring you? That to me it's one of those, it's not a top 5 storyline in the series by any stretch, but it's an interesting one for me. From a human element side, how is he going to look in the postseason? And just how's he going to react? You wait this long, I got to think it's going to be great. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the LA Kings. They just need 1 win in 3 games here in the next 4 days, and they guarantee that they're going to have home ice advantage against the Oilers. They could wrap it up tonight. What kind of matchups, though? Because let's be honest, we know they're playing the Kings. Whether it's starting in LA, starting in Edmonton, that part's whatever. But they're playing each other. How's Hiller now in his first full season as a coach? You got to see him. The changes haven't been that drastic. Better goaltending. Kuzmenko's come in and really helped their offense. But can the Kings score enough when it matters? And do you think their penalty kill can figure out the power play? Because that's what's got them. Remember, the Kings had the second best penalty kill in the NHL last year. And then the Oilers, all they did was have a 45% power play in the postseason against the Kings. So can LA have figured it out? We'll find out next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
We've finished construction of our gamma radiation containment facility. Is it up to code? Is it going to be safe?
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Testing team reporting. We test your commercial operations using tools like infrared to ensure safe operation. Trust us to prevent potential calamity before it strikes.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Get ready to revolutionize your job site with Edmonton Kubota's game-changing compact construction equipment. From mini excavators and skid steers to track loaders, carriers, and utility vehicles, they have a model to fit every need, all powered by legendary Kubota diesel engines. These machines are built for performance and reliability. Transform your work with Edmonton Kubota's top-of-the-line compact equipment. Visit them today and see why they're the name you can trust for power and precision.
When St. Albert Dodge gets a deal, you get a deal. That's how it works. And right now, they've made a special purchase of new 2024 Ram heavy-duty 2500 and 3500 model trucks. These are Cummins diesel models with an exclusive offer that you can only get at St. Albert Dodge.
I want you to send it to me because I'm going to send it to what's his name to see if he can change the
tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.427. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. As always, we appreciate it. Let's get around the NHL. Brought to you by McDonald's. The McValue menu at McDonald's has some delicious options starting at just under $4, like the Cheeseburger Deluxe or the Junior McChicken. Check it out now, only at McDonald's. As we welcome back to the show, I'll probably talk about a bit here over the next few weeks as the Oilers and Kings are doing battle again. Patrick O'Neill, Kings host and reporter, joins us. And Patrick, I guess good news for the Kings tonight. Drew Doughty returns to the lineup. He left the game against the Oilers on the 5th of April in the third period. Hasn't played since. And he gets back in. But do you expect him to play 3 games? Like, do you expect him to go back-to-back? Are they going to play him tonight and then rest him and play him Thursday?
I would assume, thanks for having me, guys, they would rest him tomorrow and then play him Thursday versus Calgary. That would just be my guess. A little surprised that he was going here tonight, but more surprised that Darcy Kemper was in net. I thought, why show your hand against the Oilers? You're going to be matching up with them. But it's a huge game tonight, right? What a tilt with home ice on the line. Kings win. They finally get home ice, and hopefully 4th time's the charm for the Kings and their fans.
Well, yeah, that's the big one, right? Like when you look at it, how different are the Kings? Obviously, Darcy Kemper there. Kuzmenko has really added some offensive punch here the last few weeks. He brought in Warren Fogle. Yep. But a lot of the core is still similar. Their style isn't drastically different. A little bit of a neutral zone. They check differently in the neutral zone for sure. But what about how Hiller runs his bench? From what you've seen in the past, if you had to guess for game 1, does he care about which line, or is it still going to be, I want Drew Doughty out against McDavid, and then I want Gavrikov out against Draisaitl? What do you think the matchup plan is going to be for the Kings on home ice?
I mean, listen, Jason, that's a great question. I think that this is such a deep team right now. And to your point about who Rob Blake and the Kings brought in, as you guys know, Warren Fogle very well. He had a tremendous year. Joel Edmondson, a great year. Quentin Byfield's he's playing phenomenal right now at 30 points in his last 30 games. So he has no issues with the matchups. Obviously, I think the only thing they care about is winning tonight's game. I know the Oilers are playing shorthanded, so they're not worried about that. Anze Kopitar spoke to the media today, and he said he doesn't care who's in the lineup. They're here to win this game, and that's all they care about. They haven't had the home ice in the previous 4 games, but as far as the matchups, the Oilers torched the Kings and special teams. The penalty kill, they sat back. It's a different penalty kill this year than last year. They're much more aggressive. As far as the neutral zone, not much change, but you're right. Kuzmenko has changed the power play.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, and they'll do it again tonight, guys, right, is they got 5 forwards on the first unit, and it's been really good. They've got 4 goals in the last 2 games. And Kempe can be caught out there if he has to. He can play some D. He's so good, skate backwards, and he's so fast and physical. But the power play is better. Kuzmenko and Byfield and Fiala with 18 goals since February 1st. They're just a different team. They're playing really well right now.
Looking at this Kings team, why so great at home and meh on the road?
That's exactly right. It's a tremendous question. And, when you look at the record at home with 31 wins, only 5 regulation losses, that's already by far the best regular season home record they've had in franchise history. And I just think that on the road, they hit a dry spell in January offensively. They just were not good. In the power play, terrible. So that has improved. I feel that of late, they have more confidence on the road. They do feel they can go in and get, a win in the playoffs. on the road. It remains to be seen. We shall see. But yeah, 15-19-5 on the road versus 31-5-4. It's a huge difference. They have tremendous confidence on home ice. That's what makes tonight so incredibly huge.
Yeah, well, you look at the Kings, they'd really have to fall on their face here. They just got to win 1 of 3 games here this week, and they guarantee themselves. But I get why you'd want to do it earlier,
Yeah.
and away they go. The Oilers, I'm not going to say they're just throwing up the white flag, but they've been dealing with so much injury that the health is more important to them than home ice, and so we'll see what happens. But home ice has definitely helped them in the series prior to this, especially the first year when they won at home in Game 7. Darcy Kemper. How much of a difference? You talked about the different approach to the aggressiveness on their penalty kill. What about his play on the PK specific? Is it be noticeably better for him as a goalie than they got goaltending in the previous few years?
It's a great question. I work with Jared Stoll, who you guys know well, right? With the Oilers getting so close to winning the cup, and I always like to throw goaltending questions at him because he's like, I didn't play goalie. I have no idea. They always struggle on how to answer questions about goaltending. He's won before. He's got the confidence with the cup with Colorado. He's just been so solid. He reads the play so incredibly well. He's great with his stick. But there's some great D in front of him. I mean, the Kings have allowed the second fewest shots in the league to Carolina, and Winnipeg is right there also. But they've been a really sound team in front of Kemper. But he's going to be a finalist for the Vezina, and I believe he's obviously we know who's going to win it, Hellebuck. But he should be second. His goals against, his save percentage, his leadership, second time around with the LA Kings. But I got to ask you real quick: are you guys are already saying you feel like the Oilers have given up on home? Because we do not feel that way. I think that as Kings fans and covering the team, there's this feeling like, oh no, here we go again with the Oilers, the 4th straight time losing. So from our side, it's a critical game, right? Because then you got Seattle tomorrow, and then what if Calgary's playing for something on Thursday, and then all you guys have is 2 left. You got San Jose. You beat us tonight. You beat San Jose. We lose out. You guys have it, and that would be a disaster. So we're nervous.
Yeah, well, I look at the Kings, they just have to win one game even if they lose tonight, they just got to beat Seattle because they own the tiebreakers, right? And even if Edmonton beats San Jose.
They do, but Seattle just beat us at home, though. So
yeah. Well, I'd say this.
I agree.
Yeah. If they can't beat Seattle or Calgary, then they don't deserve home ice advantage would be my counter argument.
You're right.
Right?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah. No, I look at
it puts some juice on the game.
Yeah, no, it does. And I'm not saying Edmonton is just they're going to quit. Their team, despite all their injuries, they're 6-2 here down the stretch. Dreisaitl's played 2 of those games. Ekholm's played 1 and a bit. McDavid's only played the last 3. Edmonton's played well because I think the injuries have forced them to refocus defensively. And since that Seattle game, where it was their second half of back-to-back, they rested a lot of guys. They've only allowed 17 goals in 8 games. And I think as good as Edmonton is offensively, when they play well defensively, they're a really hard team to beat.
Yeah, I think when you look at this Kings team, you got to look at some of the young guys that have really stepped up. Like Alex Laferriere has been so good this year. He's really physical, strong on the forecheck, and he's got a great connection with Phil Deneau and Trevor Moore. That's Fogle. Sorry, Fogle with Trevor Moore. With Byfield and Fiala, Laferriere, with Brant Clark, this will be his first playoffs. He's only 22, and he just stepped up and played big minutes with Doughty missing those 3. So 22-year-old defenseman playing big minutes. He might get caught out there in some matchups. Yeah, he's been tremendous. Jordan Spence. And then our 4th line, I know Tanner Jeannot's been hurt. We don't know if he's going to be back. We do expect Edmondson back. But you're going to look at 3 guys that have never played a playoff game before with Sammy Hellenius and Jeff Malott and Alex Turcotte. And they've been fun. They've been a good 4th line for us. It's going to be a great matchup, and we're just so fired up to see it once again.
Well, see, it's funny. Some Edmonton fans are nervous. Oh, geez, you can't beat the same team 4 in a row. Obviously, it doesn't happen very often. It's only the second time in NHL history since expansion that the two teams have met 4 years in a row in the first round. The last time was Montreal-Boston, and Montreal actually did win all 4, funny enough. But, LA does seem like they're better. You mentioned their penalty kill because 5-on-5, the 3 series have been dead even. If you look at the total games played in those series, 5-on-5 goals are even. Where the Oilers have murdered LA was on special teams. Power play was great, and the Kings power play stunk. So, it was a bad mix. And, it might be too simplistic to say, hey, does it come down to it? But really on the penalty kill, because, Edmonton, they're what was it, 45 and 55% the last 2 years on the power play? You're not going to win many series when your penalty kill is that bad.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. And that's what Kobe talked about today. We just got destroyed by their power play. And the Kings had the first or second penalty kill all year, but they sat back and they just let Connor and Draisaitl have all this ice and Hyman, of course, and Bouchard with the bomb. It just picked us apart. It was a disaster. So this is going to be a different look on the PK. They're going to be attacking. So they're going to be going right after the guy who ever has the puck and rotating and all that. So it's going to be a better PK and the PP with Kopitar, Kempe, Fiala, Byfield, and Kuzmenko, like 5 forwards. We'll see if they run it out there in the playoffs. That's what they're going to do tonight as the first unit. And those are 5 really skilled guys. It's dynamic. It's a different look than we have had. It's new, but with 4 in the last 2, we're so desperate for something on the power play. Against Seattle, we had a 5-on-3. We barely got a shot off. So, yeah, it's going to come down to special teams, Jason, 100%.
Now, you mentioned the 5-man forward unit. Have you talked to Hiller? Like, if he's been using it for a while, why would he change it in the playoffs, especially when it's having success?
It hasn't been a while. It's only been a couple of games.
Okay.
It's been like 3 games. Yeah, so it's really new. But it has worked. I mean, you had 4 goals against, 3 against Anaheim. They blew them out 6-1. Not a good showing for the Ducks. And then they had 1 in the last game. So that's 4 in 2 games, and they're going to give it a shot again here tonight. They don't, there's just not a lot of practice time. You know how it is. The Kings, it's just they play, and then it's basically optional morning skates. So they on the morning skates is when they actually work on their power plays. So bizarre. End of the year, guys are beat up, but it's a whole new season. And this is, I know from the Kings fan perspective, right back home, there's all season long, it's everybody saying not the Oilers, not the Oilers, not the Oilers. But the fan support at home at Crypto, it's been electric, right? But there's going to be nervous energy with McDavid and Draisaitl again. Here they come. So it's just going to be interesting to see how that energy at home, if the Kings get this home ice, hopefully, I think they need it to win for sure, because they haven't had it the previous 3.
Well, Patrick, it's going to be a fun series. It builds the rivalry, no question about it. What about Quinton Byfield? And just, early on in the year, he wouldn't shoot the puck. And then he went on a stretch where he was shooting and he scored. He's got an absolute laser. Like, when I look at guys, like, for me, the Kings to win, their special teams got to be good, but Quinton Byfield's got to be assertive, right? Like, we've seen assertive Byfield and then passive Byfield. And when he's passive, I think that's a real big blow to the Kings. Do you expect him to be more assertive this postseason?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen it, though, because and you're right, at the beginning of the season he was, but 30 points last 30 games. And he had that stretch of a goal in 6 straight or 7 straight, and he's got 3 overtime game winners this year. He plays with so much confidence. He's so incredibly young. He's 22 years old, and he is so fast. He's so good with the puck, and he kills penalties. So he's a different level right now, and I think that's going to be a big, big difference. It's a different player right now. He's an absolute beast. He's so big, so strong, so tough to get off the puck. And you got Fiala, they have great chemistry. And lastly, LaFerriere on that line with the forecheck. It's a big, physical, strong, talented line. And he's driving the bus. And he's winning his draws. He was 8 for 10 in the last game. Because, if you're going to win 41% of your draws, like all season long, there's a reason why Kopitar is the number 1 center. But if this guy can get to that next level and win at least 50% of his draws, he's a monster. And he's going to be the number 1 center for many years in LA.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it should be fun. We'll watch tonight, and obviously it'll be a little different intensity, I would think, than what we're going to see. And are you expecting the playoffs to open up in LA at home on Sunday? Would that be the plan with the Lakers playing Saturday?
I saw Saturday, but I'm looking for Game 2 Lakers. It still says TBD. I heard some people saying that the Lakers will have a Game 2 on Sunday, which would mean that we would open at home on Monday, go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday here.
They're going to play the Lakers. They have a back-to-back days.
I see. That's what I'm not 100% on this. I heard today that they were saying the Lakers are playing Sunday. The Lakers are playing Sunday from the guys, in my crew. And then when I looked online, I'm like, well, wait, the Lakers are playing Saturday, but I still see TBD on Sunday. So, I don't know. I always thought it was going to be Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday to have a big Saturday, game here, Hockey Night in Canada for Game 4 in Edmonton.
Yeah,
that's what I would have thought, but I'm not 100%. I still don't know.
Yeah, like the Sunday makes sense. I can't see the NBA playing back-to-back games. Like that'd be mind-blowing. Like there's no chance LeBron's allowing that to happen. No chance.
Yeah, that's right. He calls the shots, man. He does. And the Lakers, they always get dibs How do you see the series playing? Do you see the Kings being a different team this year with the new ads?
Well, the big thing is no Ekholm for Edmonton. He's out for the series, so that's obviously a big blow for them. Jake Wallman, I think, can fill in for him. The problem is their third pair. So I think for Edmonton, the big wild card for Edmonton is their health. I know that right now a lot of their guys are being ultra cautious on, but if Frederic and Kane can play, and I think Kane's going to be ready for game one, how effective, I have no idea. But Kane and Frederic add a lot to the Oilers. And to me, I just look at LA, and if they're going to play, if they can't score enough 5-on-5, I just don't see how they can win, because I don't think you can. Right. You can't. Eventually, McDavid and Draisaitl will score in the playoffs. History tells us that for 3 years. Like, it's hard. If you're going to beat Edmonton, you're going to have to score more than 2 or 3 goals a game. So I think that's going to be LA's challenges. Can they be good defensively, but find a way to score more?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Is Frederic going to be ready for game 2 or 3?
Maybe I don't think he's going to be ready for game 1, listening to what the coach is saying. And then even if he is ready, like we saw the last time he played, it was 7 minutes and then he didn't play again. So high ankle sprains, man, who knows? Like, I don't know what he's going to, like. Frederic to me is like, if he plays, it's like a bonus. But Evander Kane adds a lot to the Oilers because they're not an overly physical team. And he comes in, I don't know how much he'll score, but I know he'll hit. And that's something that they need.
Yeah. Yeah, and Doughty's not 100%, and even no matter what, if he rests on Thursday or tomorrow, whatever it is, he hasn't said he's going to be 100% until the summertime. So he's got a bum ankle. He's playing on it, but he looked good today. And, Doughty on the ice makes a difference.
Oh, God, yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, he makes a big difference. And Joel Edmondson, what about him? What's the update on him? Is he going to be ready?
Yeah, it's just they're just resting him. He's had an upper body thing. Yeah, but he's going to be ready. He's not on the trip, but he'll be good to go. That's what I hear for sure. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be nerve-wracking playoff hockey at its best. Can't wait. And I'm fired up. I'm gonna go ahead and just say home ice, Kings in 7.
All right.
I have to, because I believe it.
Well, there you go.
But I'm nervous about it.
All right, Patrick. Thanks for your time. Have a good one.
Okay, guys. Take care. Thanks again.
There you go. It's Kings host and on broadcast on TV as well, Patrick O'Neill. So Doughty back in, but you just heard it, not going to be 100%. Bum ankle. It's interesting he says ankle, that because if you watch the replay when he left the game against Edmonton, like, he reached right for his hip. Now, it might be an ankle issue and everything. It's the old adage, ankle bone's connected to the knee bone, connected to this. So and Cranford Orcs talked about it all, how, gets everything in sync. And if your ankle, all of a sudden you're favoring it or whatever, that can start having, pain somewhere else. So we'll see. But if you got an ankle injury, man, it's like in a game like hockey and you got to move, it's hard. So we'll see. Can you exploit Doughty at times? Will there be a well-play slash tonight? Probably not. You never know. 4:44, we'll get to 5 questions when we return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Nice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada, with sports and entertainment properties including the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League's Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility, is open in Nisku, which features 2 sheets of ice, including a 1,600-seat arena and a restaurant with a viewing area.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Wow. Get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
At Fountain Tire, our focus is taking care of your vehicle. Your focus? Saving up to 25% off select tires. Plus, getting up to a $120 mail-in rebate on a set of 4 select tires until April 26th. So we both win. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
Dang. Last season, you bought new clubs to fix your game. You spent the entire season trying to learn how to hit with your magic clubs. And guess what? Dang. They didn't help your game. Now you're convinced it's your swing, but it really is your clubs. Even though you were told the ones you bought were the best ever made, if they were, you would have gotten better. Every day at Fitted Golf, we continue to prove the right clubs make all the difference in the world. From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference. Yes, fittedgolf.ca.
The Alzheimer's Face-Off presented by Christensen Communities Limited hits the ice April 25th to 27th, pairing hockey fans with some of their favorite players from the NHL Alumni Association for a fun-filled weekend in support of the Alzheimer's Society of Alberta and Northwest Territories. Friday features a champions luncheon followed by the teams hitting the ice on Saturday and Sunday in a friendly hockey tournament at Terwilliger Rec Center. To purchase a table to the champions luncheon or to learn more about how you can get involved in the tournament, visit alzheimersfaceoff.ca for more info.
Spring into savings at the Brick. Refresh your home with huge discounts. Get up to 35% off sofas and sectionals and up to 25% off bedroom and dining room furniture. Dreaming of better sleep? Upgrade your mattress game. Get a king for the price of a queen on select mattresses. Plus, save the tax when you buy 3 or more major kitchen appliances. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick. Proudly Canadian since 1971.
For a rock-solid start on all your spring and summer projects, Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete to septic tanks, precast water pads to outhouses, plus aggregates, landscaping supplies, and more. Renos, construction. Start planning right now at BashawConcrete.com or call 780-372-3854. That's 780-372-3854. Family owned and operated, proudly serving Albertans since 1963. Bashaw Concrete Products.
At Sherwood Honda, you'll find the true north traits Canadians are known for. Friendly? Check. Reliable? Check. Canadian made? Here's how you check. If the first digit on the VIN number is a 2, that Honda was made here in Canada, like the Honda Civic, CR-V, and CR-V Hybrid. Sherwood Honda has a whole lot of 2s for you to choose, a whole lot of spirit, and a whole lot of reasons your heart sure would be glowing when you pay them a visit.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh, it's a classic old school tune. I love it. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Second Cougar Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Monday. It is game day. The Oilers take on the Kings. And oh, by the way, we got 2 more pairs of tickets to give away. This is just a lovely Monday. It's giveaways all over the place. So all of you, you know what? Those who text in earlier, if you haven't texted and you want to join the cause, you can. All you got to do is text in your name, your email, and who's the Oilers' leading scorer. And we'll do 2 more tickets, and we'll do those before the top of the hour. So 833-401-1440. If you've already done it, don't do it again because we already got you in this. Our system's pretty advanced now. It's great. You can see it. It's quick. So there you go. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick. We're saving you more. That's what they live for. Also, you want a good night's sleep? Mattresses, they got them all at the special mattress store. Edmonton, Spruce Grove, and others. It's The Brick.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, with so many players missing tonight, what is one storyline you'll be watching out for with the Oilers hosting the Kings?
Ooh, well, to me, I think can the Oilers continue their solid defensive play? we all know that they're short-staffed offensively tonight. So this is one where limit the chance of the opposition, play well, defend, because that's what they've done. 17 goals against with and one empty net. I'm just talking goals against. 17 in their last 8 games. You're going to win a lot of games when that happens. So that's what I'm focusing on tonight more so is, because if the Kings can't generate a ton of offense tonight, I think that bodes well for him.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it might be an obvious one. People will be watching out for him, but Hudson making his debut. I want to see what he can do. I believe he's wearing number 20 for the Oilers, for those who want to see. And then I guess, how's Nuge going to look after some time off with that illness, and how much of a role will that play in his game? Question number 2 for you. We'll stick with kind of the Hudson talk there. Part of it, the Oilers have made so many signings over the last couple of weeks here. Is there one that stands out to you as a favorite?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, we had Stephen Ellis earlier talking on about Lappinen from Finland, the 26-year-old defenseman. He had 63 points last year playing across the pond. He said he stands out to him. He thinks that's a really good signing for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to trust his opinion and say Atro Lappinen.
Oh, that is a very intriguing signing, right? For the 26-year-old defenseman, moves the puck. So, hey, they're bringing over some guys who can move the puck, that's for sure. Tomasek, I'm just interested by. To see, guy comes over, 29 years of age, and hey, it's older, there's no question. We've seen other guys do it. Other guys have come over from Europe and performed very, very well. And I think anybody who looks like the Oilers, they would love to find a little bit of a diamond in the rough who produces a little bit more goals than they expect. So that's what I'll go with him. He's my guy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Question number 3 for you. NBA regular season has come to an end. You got the play-in games getting going tomorrow, the 7 versus 8 matchup. The MVP race looks to be down to 2, SGA or Jokic. Who would be your pick?
No, SGA. I know Jokic has had a good year, but not as good as previous. And I just look at the season OKC's having, man. Like they're 68 and 18. He's been phenomenal for them all season long. So yeah, it's hard for me to go against SGA.
I'm with you. I mean, I like the Joker, and I think that sometimes there's that voter fatigue. You see the same thing happening, and the things he's been doing is amazing. But I'm going to lean with SGA on this one. We call it a homer pick because I'm a huge fan of him, but I don't think that means it's a wrong one either. Question number 3 or 4 for you. We saw Rory become the 6th golfer to complete the Modern Grand Slam. Of the golfers currently competing, who do you think will be the next to join?
Well, Jordan Spieth. Correct. I think he's got the best opportunity. Isn't he only missing one, right? He's won the U.S., he's won the Open Championship, and he's won the Masters. He finished 2nd at the PGA Championship. Now, it's been a while since he won, I think 2017. So it's 8 years, but, Rory went 11 between his. So to me, Jordan Spieth is the obvious one.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously one away. Not a bad pick by any means. I'm going to go, though, Scotty Scheffler, still just 28 years old. Yeah. He's got the Masters down. He's got a ways to go. He finished 2nd at the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship. The Open's giving him some fits. But I'll say Scotty Scheffler. Hopefully he can get on a little bit of run here and do it, because I'm a big fan of his game. And our final question for you today, it is National Gardening Day. So when it comes to your yard, Gregor, is that something you enjoy taking care of, and do you take pride in it?
I can't say I enjoy it that much. We had a garden growing up at the farm, and I enjoyed that because, you got to enjoy the benefits of it. Cutting my lawn, it looks good. I don't really enjoy any benefits of it. I don't get any great tasting carrots, and it's not like I'm eating my lawn. So, yeah, I don't know. It's nice. I've never been like a lawnie. If people that are out there, and they're picking every little weed that they get in there. So. No, I don't take that much enjoyment in it, to be honest. I love my front yard, my turf, because it's low maintenance. I don't have to do much. I have to sweep it. That's about it. So, yeah, I can't say I enjoy it. I clean my garage on the weekend. Now that I get a lot of, I walk into my garage today, and it's just this is unbelievable. Pressure wash the floor, took everything out, washed the whole floor, clean up lots of stuff, got rid of some stuff, and now there's more space. There's not a lot of clutter. I don't like clutter, but everything just even seems crisper. Moved out the basketball net. It's back outside now, so there's more space in there. So now that is every time I walk out there. But every time I walk out to the backyard and I see the lawn mowed and it's nice and trimmed and whippersnip, it's not the same. So no, I can't say I get that much enjoyment on it.
I'm with you on the garage. I just moved the snowblower to the back, pulled the bikes and the golf clubs out to the front for the summer. I did when we first moved in. Like you, we have the fake grass out front, but there are some plants, and I kind of took it on as a project myself. Like, okay, how do I make these look as good as they can? Same with the backyard. Different watering techniques. I had to get some advice from my aunt who has a bit of a green thumb. But the longer it went on, the less I cared. Like it was a month or two where I was really gung-ho about it, and then it just kind of dropped off. So with no real lawn and just plants and flowers, I wasn't quite as into it. But if I had a lawn, I think I might put some effort into it. Try to stand out amongst the neighbors.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, it's fun. Yeah, I like having the front. My only competition with the neighbors, I like to get up early and shovel my walk. I always never want to be the last guy shoveling his walk. I know I'm sure no one even notices, but I do. I like getting out there like, I got it done. Oh, it's such a stupid thing, but I still love it. Like I'll be out there at 6:30. Oh, it snowed. Ooh, I'm out here. Here we go. Right. Oh, it's a weird thing. Did I ever think I would be that person? No, but suddenly I'm that guy. It's like, I don't want to be the person who is not shoveling on their driveway, like right away. Plus, I hate driving over it. So that's another reason why.
So people who like walk, or maybe they're walking to the bus, walking their dogs, probably really appreciate that because you're clearing their path. And if you don't do it, then you're going to have the snow all patted down. So I think it's a good thing to do that. I don't get out as early as you, but I do take pride in keeping the driveway clean.
Oh, buddy, I love it. Love it. Coming up, we got Woodley. We got Mark Spector, the Oilers and the Kings. We'll talk a little bit about Rory. But like when you think sporting events, even if you're not a big golf fan, but like if you're a golf fan, that's probably one of the most entertaining, emotionally charged finals of a round that you've watched in a long time. Now, obviously, there's the fact that he was going for the career Grand Slam. He's never won it. He's had some brutal results at the Masters where he was in control, couldn't win it, couldn't close it out. And he talked openly about it. And to finally win, it was amazing. So we'll touch on that and more. But first, we'll get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Booster Juice. Mix it up with Booster Juice and their two new booster mixers, the Zesty Berry Booster Mixer and the Bango Mango Booster Mixer. Download the Boosters Reward app and order one today.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. Oilers Kings going at it down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. We'll have pre-game coverage for you here on Sports 1440 at 6 with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson. Elsewhere tonight, Habs host the Hawks. Got the Stars in Detroit, Panthers in the Rangers, Utah in Nashville, and the Canucks hosting the San Jose Sharks. Some news from the association as the Phoenix Suns have fired head coach Mike Budenholzer. It's the third straight year they fired a head coach. This season they went 36-46, despite having the largest payroll in league history. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays hosting the Atlanta Braves just after 5 o'clock. You also got the Yankees, Royals, the Red Sox taking on the Rays, Mets in Minnesota, Padres, Cubbies, and the Rockies in Los Angeles. 2 games underway now, early and scoreless. Pirates and Nationals in the bottom of the first. The Phillies have a 1-0 lead over the Giants. The Women's World Hockey Championships, Canada defeated Czechia 7-1, advancing to the quarterfinals, where they'll take on Germany or Japan in the WHL. Spokane taking on Victoria. Chiefs lead that series 1-0. Puck drop just after 8. And tonight at 5:30, you got the WNBA draft. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we will be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hey, Alberta. The all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
Did you know The Brick is proudly Canadian owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a Brick store near you.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
At McDonald's, there are new breakfast sandwiches with a secret ingredient.
A secret ingredient?
It's a little sweet, born in the cold, cradled by spring.
Gotcha. It's maple.
Well, yes, but let me finish. It's made
with 100% Canadian maple syrup?
Right again. It's a brand new smoky maple sauce featured in...
Oh, some new McD's breakfast sandwiches.
And you can try it
before 11 a.m. only.
Wow, you're good at this.
I know what I like. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For a limited time at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440 order.
Kubota.
First Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, Sports 1440.
Small tasks or big project. And right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months.
Sports
it's never been easier
1440.
to get the power and reliability you need. Come down to Edmonton Kubota today and drive away with a
Welcome back.
Just right
An
for
Instagram,
you.
thanks. Thanks.
Metal Supermarkets is locally owned, locally operated. They
Figured it out.
love this
Find out
city
next
and serving its people. We're talking metal cut to your exact specifications, fast. In fact, at Metal Supermarkets, there is Edmontonian
Oh, it's a
checking your
classic old
basement
school
sump
tune. I
pump
love
in the
it. Welcome
spring
back,
and-
Jason Gregor.
Oh no,
Connor
not
Halley.
good. But on the bright side, I do need to work on my backstroke. And don't even get me started on my butterfly. Count on the local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Service that goes the distance, just like your cart should. Keep your golf cart running at its best with expert service from the golf cart people. From regular maintenance to upgrades like LED lighting, lift kits, or sound systems, our certified techs bring experience and attention to detail using genuine parts for a smooth, reliable ride. Whether you're boosting performance or just need a tune-up, trust the team Alberta has counted on since 1997. The Golf Cart People. Book now at golfcartpeople.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. Sherbrooke is a house of curiosities, a mom and pop, a curated experience that is equal parts wine tastings and 2-4s for May long. See more at sherbrooke.liquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's after 5 o'clock. Congratulations to Katie and Ranger Nick. They each won a pair of seats. Go to the game tonight. I like it. Like it a lot. Good luck. And we might even have another pair, so keep listening. It's Good Friday. It's a Monday, actually, not a Friday. It feels like good. It's Good Friday this week. Day off. Nice. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Use the promo code Gregor100, and you will get a free $50 casino bonus when you make your next deposit at PlayAlberta.ca. So good luck. Good playing. Playoffs, of course, are coming up. You got lots to pick from. Oilers. What are the odds they win? Check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists who are currently hiring. You want to work for a fantastic company over 50 years. They just keep growing, expanding, and they love promoting from within. Trust me, you can't go very far at GS without seeing someone who's worked their way up the ranks. So if you're looking for a great career with great opportunities, go to GS construction.ca and send them your resume. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, good afternoon. It was interesting. The LA Kings, Anze Kopitar, they're like, hey, man, we just want home ice. Like, they got a real focus. They want home ice, whereas the Oilers, they want health right now. It's two different mindsets heading into the game tonight.
Yeah, I think everybody wants home ice until you get like 7 injuries. And then you start to change your focus and say, okay, hold on a second. What's more important, right? The Oilers would have loved home ice, no doubt. But this injury thing, they would have loved first place too. But this injury thing has caused them to change their focus, and they are there. Listen, I know you've talked to some people that tell you there's as much rest as there is injury involved in these guys not playing, and I don't doubt that for a second. They have chosen here that they're not. Home ice doesn't matter to the Oilers. They're not playing guys. They're sitting McDavid tonight, even though he's healthy. And frankly, if I was running that team, I think I'd be doing the same thing, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, it's 3 games in 4 days, and they just don't want to. Now, here's the thing, Spec. Here's how I can tell 100% that McDavid isn't injured. So usually, when any guys are nursing sort of ailments and stuff, and even if they don't skate, they end up staying at the rink because that's when they do all their treatment. When I came into the rink, he was leaving the rink. So to me, that's like, oh, there's a guy who's leaving. He ain't injured because he's not staying for any sort of treatment. And honestly, like that, I've talked to lots of guys. So I think anybody out there, no, they're just being cautious about this to say, hey, we're going to rest him tonight. I fully expect him to play Wednesday. He can go for 100 points, which is an added bonus, but he also likes to stay in a rhythm. He's told us that many times beforehand. And I think that's what they're doing here. There are some other guys, Wallman, Hyman, those guys, they're resting for injury. McDavid, I think they're simply resting out of necessity to say, hey, we don't want a guy, we're not going to overtax him when the odds of us getting home ice are extremely low.
Yeah, right. Look, all the guys Winnipeg sat yesterday, tonight, who's not playing for LA? Doughty's not playing for LA.
Oh, Doughty is playing. Doughty is playing.
Doughty is playing? Well, I heard this morning he wasn't playing. There you go.
They changed it. He's playing. The only guy who's not playing for them is Edmonton, who's been hurt since the Oilers game on the 5th. He hasn't played since. He's not even on the road trip, but they expect him back maybe Thursday against the Kings. And then Tanner Jeannot, who's also been out for a while.
Okay, so anyway, listen, lots of teams resting lots of guys. I think the season's getting a little too long sometimes. Like, these games are awesome when there's something to play for, when there's races and when there's teams and when it really matters. Like that game in Winnipeg yesterday, Jay, was just, Winnipeg didn't even want to play it, right? They clinched their division the day before. They won the President's Trophy halfway through the game, and the Oilers played against air yesterday. That was a great example of a game where the fans in Winnipeg did not get their money's worth. I liked Edmonton's game. They dominated the Jets. It wasn't even close, but I wouldn't love to be a guy in Winnipeg who paid $250 to go watch my team play, and that's what I got.
Yeah, that's going to happen. They rested some guys, not a huge amount, but I'm not sure what else you expect, right? Like, I'll say this: Jets fans don't care about the game last night. They care about the fact their team's got home ice, right? At least that would, like, you'll get the odd person, but most people are like, hey, do I want all my guys playing in game 80 or do I want all my guys playing in game 83?
Oh, no doubt. Like, I'm doing the same thing. My point is, we've got a season where this is happening all over the league here. Like, I'm in team Pierre LeBrun. They should start the season earlier. They should end it earlier, and they should play less games. And frankly, if they add any more teams, they're going to play more games, right? The talk is they're going to 84 games. How many games are we going to get like these ones where half the teams aren't playing anymore? It's very close to preseason here. And again, listen, man, I get in for free. So I don't have any skin in the game, right? But I know what people pay for tickets. And if you went to see the Stones play and Mick Jagger wasn't there that night, how would you feel, right?
Yeah. Oh no, there'll be some who are like, man, there's no Draisaitl, there's David. It's tough tonight, no question about it. Especially when they played McDavid last night. And some are like, well, why would they play him on the road and not play him here? And I'm like, you know what? There's probably something to be said about, hey, McDavid's not playing tonight. Would the Kings try to take a liberty with him? Maybe. I would say this, though. If I'm the Oilers, if you think that that's why you're resting McDavid, then if I'm an Edmonton Oiler, and Drew Doughty has publicly said his ankle won't be 100% healthy till the summer, I might be looking at an Alex not Alex Pietrangelo, but you know how guys will, you can put a Mickey Anderson well-placed slash to the foot spec. Could you not?
You could. I'll tell you this. I won't be the guy that says it's, that speaks for slashing guys a la Bobby Clark in 72. But I'll tell you this. If I'm coaching the team, maybe in a regular season game, you don't say, put it in his corner and pound on him, because you're not going to see that team for 2 months. You don't play that game in the regular season. There's nothing in it for you, because you're softening up you're softening up Quinn Hughes for the Calgary Flames, right? Because you're not playing him tomorrow night. But in this situation, right? In this situation, if I'm the LA Kings and I get a shot at, a legal shot at Evan Bouchard, you're damn right I'm taking it. And if I'm the Oilers, I am pumping that puck into Doughty's corner all night and putting a lumber to him, man. Not illegally, not cheap, right? Not any of that stuff. I am going in and hitting him as hard as I can legally, because you are playing them down the road here. So yes, the time to start softening up the opponent has arrived here, man, and it should start tonight.
Yeah. Mark Spector joins. So Spec, we'll give a rundown for anybody just joining us, because it's a long list. So McDavid out tonight. They're just resting, no injury. Draisaitl, Hyman, Wallman, Stetcher, banged up, all expected to be ready for the playoffs. Some of them maybe play Wednesday. We'll see. Evander Kane talked today. Pretty good chance he's ready for game 1. Ekholm is out for the whole series. He might be out for the whole playoffs. We'll see. Trent Frederick is still a maybe for game 1. I'm guessing probably maybe realistic more of a game 2. Ryan and Phil. Yeah, Derek Ryan and Noah Philp also out tonight because of salary cap reasons. They've been reassigned to the minors because the Oilers recalled Josh Brown to play for Stetcher. Nugent Hopkins comes in for McDavid. Young Quinn Hudson comes in, will play his first NHL game. So the Oilers will go 11-6 tonight. They made the choice to not even dress 12 forwards just because they don't want to have McDavid. Maybe, don't take the risk on it. And in 3 games and 4 nights. Of those injured guys, how confident are you that they're going to be healthy when the playoffs begin?
Oh, you know what? Like, I'm the first, as a journalist, I spent 35 years getting lied to, buddy. Like, you know what? I think I have a pretty good BS detector. And the reason is it's worn out, right? I make a living of people telling me half truths. So I'm telling you this, no one tells you the truth about injuries anymore. I feel like Draisaitl, watching him practice today, he looks like a guy that should be ready to play by Sunday. Yes. I haven't seen Hyman hiding her hair as Zach Hyman, so I don't know. McDavid's ready to play. If it's true, and I believe it's true, that Ryan Nugent was sick, he's ready. I don't like Frederick till deep into the first round. I don't think he's playing game 2. I watched Kane today. Looks like a player to me. Doesn't he look like one to you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
like
Klingberg. Who, Klingberg for you?
Forget about Klingberg.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, Draisaitl looks like he's ready. Kane for sure. Like, I think Evander Kane. I think Kane's ready. Now, ready to play and then contribute. But I liked his answer. He goes, hey, could I play in game 1? Yeah, I played last year on one leg, and, I found a way to contribute. So, I've said this all along. The reason I think Kane can make an impact is because his self-belief is pretty damn high all the time, right? So he will come in at bare minimum, he'll make an impact physically. It's just going to be like the small little areas of the game, right? Like, he's never been a great passer to begin with. So, I'm not expecting him to thread the needle all the time, but can he go up and down his wing and bang bodies? And as he said, you know what, I got lucky. I was sitting on my couch. I wasn't playing. I came in, I scored a goal off my skate the first game, and away I went. And it's true. Because I think he scored, 22 goals in 37 games and then went on the playoffs and had like 15 and 13 games or whatever the hell it was. So or 13 and 15, whichever one it was. I still think Kane could come in. And so here's my question to you, Spec. Does Zach Hyman start the playoffs with McDavid, or are they going to leave Brown and Skinner with McDavid?
Well, you know what? Here's what I think. I think the decision is bigger than that. The decision for me, Jay, is how well do you spread your talent around? Like, maybe because there's guys that aren't at 100% and guys that aren't playing and they're a little thin, instead of stocking up all your top 6 players in your top 6, do you keep the McDavid line together? Do you play on the next line, do you play Draisaitl between Arvidsson and Podkolzin where he's been all year? And then on the third line, do you put maybe a Hyman and Kane and Nugent Hopkins, which is a hell of a third line? You know, maybe you do it that way. Maybe the Oilers have to come at you in waves instead of with that, you know, the top two lines that have just murdered the Kings in the last couple of years. Maybe that's how you have to do it now, because they don't have the horses, and some of the horses they have aren't as healthy. And then as the Frederick returns, okay, he jumps into your top six. As Kane gets better, you know, he hasn't played in 10 months, man. If he, to me, he breaks in as a third line guy for a couple games, but as his games, he finds his hands and finds his game. Now maybe he jumps up next to Draisaitl. So if I'm coaching the team, that's my decision. I'm trying to decide if maybe I spread the wealth through the top 9 a little bit. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I look at it. I still want to play McDavid and Hyman together. I just think they've had lots of chemistry for a long time. I'd keep Skinner there to start the playoffs anyway. Then it's interesting to me because I can make an argument. I might just like Podkolzin does a lot of things except he doesn't score. And like, I'm not sure. I watch him right now and he doesn't make a lot of plays with the puck, right? He doesn't get scored and doesn't make a lot of mistakes defensively, but doesn't make a lot of plays offensively. I would like somebody who makes more plays. So I would honestly, and I think we'll see it, Spec. You'll be in San Jose on Thursday, their first practice. I think that's when we'll see. And I won't be shocked to see Kane with Arvidsson and Draisaitl.
Okay, just a point of whatever. I think they're taking Thursday off and they'll practice Friday.
Well then,
Friday,
sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Friday.
Okay. I mean, I think like look at your lines. Okay, I think that that's very smart. I love Skinner, McDavid, Hyman is my top line. Great. You know, I like Draisaitl and I like Arvidsson on the second side, on the right wing in the second line. Now we're talking about a left winger. Either it's Podkolzin, you know, one day it might be Frederick. Maybe it's going to be Kane. I'm not sure I'd break Kane in top 6 minutes, man. Guy hasn't played in forever, you know. And let's say you left Podkolzin next to Draisaitl. What if your third line was Nugent Hopkins between Kane and Brown? I don't mind that line. The way Brown's scoring these days, and he's certainly playing the best hockey he's played. Kane on the one side, I don't mind that line a bit. And then your fourth line's whoever, right? It's Janmark, it's Perry, it's you know, whoever you want to put in the left side, right? So there's some options here. And one thing about all these guys being hurt, all the depth guys are playing pretty good hockey. Like Brown hasn't played this well for a long time. He's really productive. Corey Perry, it's going in for him. He's playing great. You know, they got some guys that are playing in the depth, in their depth. And we all know depth wins playoff series, man. Depth is important. If we play a series and my third line and fourth line are better than yours, oftentimes I win that series.
Yeah, well, there is the one, and I know it's late in the year, but Connor Brown's got 5 goals here in the last stretch of games. And, you know, playing with McDavid, like, you know what? Who knows? You add some speed, and if all of a sudden you put Hyman somewhere else, maybe that balances it out. I still would go Hyman just because I think it's, you know, he's got a longer track record of producing, but it is Knobloch's not afraid to move guys around. Like, look at Adam Henrique's back. He's got 9 points in 11 games. Like, he's rolling at the right time offensively. Like, that's the one benefit of all these injuries is the Oilers have had a lot of other guys, Brown, Arvidsson, Henrique, Nurse, Bouchard, really up their offensive game here down the stretch. And that should bode well going into the playoffs.
Well, maybe it's time, Jay. Like, I think we got to admit something here. This year's team isn't last year's team. You know, it's not the same. First, you're going in now to war without Echo, and I doubt he's coming back. That's huge. Skinner hasn't been quite the same this year. Bouchard hasn't been the same. Hell, McDavid hasn't been the same. It's not the same team. And I'm not sure that falling back to an approach that you took 12 months ago is maybe the way to do it. Like, look at your fourth line. What if Henrique plays with Perry, 2 really productive guys, and say Janmark on the left side? What if you gave that line more than 7 minutes? Because the Oilers' fourth line used to get 7 minutes. What if you spread it out over 4 lines instead of being that top-heavy Oilers team they've always been? Maybe this year you got to win it a different way, man. Maybe you got to go. Maybe Draisaitl can't play all those minutes in the playoffs because he's coming in nicked. So is McDavid. So is Hyman. Maybe those guys, you got to back off on them a little bit. So I'm not sure approaching it this year with more of a 12-forward approach instead of the usual top-heavy Oilers. Maybe that's how you do it this year, man.
Potentially. But when McDavid's rolling, it's hard to keep him off the ice. That's the challenge. And I get why. Like when he's playing the way he has in the playoffs last year, I mean, like, and look at his last 3 games. He came out of the press box and he's just been absolutely murdering it. So I could see why a coach would be like, oh, here we go. And he's scoring. Gee, do I want to give my fourth line the chance to, play those extra 2 or 3 minutes? That's interesting for me. Like,
I think the spirit of this team is we got to have something left for the end. And I know they may never get to the end if they don't win at the start. Like I'm not even sure I'm going to pick them to beat LA. I haven't even thought it through yet. But the spirit of this team is we got to have something left at the end. And maybe the coach needs to say, I love your game, Connor. You're the best player in the world, Connor. But we're going to shave, 90 seconds off your game here. We're not going to the whip so hard all playoffs long because we got guys that can play here. They got all these depth guys that can play. So maybe you got to tell Connor no once in a while. What if we ever did that in this city? Oh, my God, that's a sin even to say it.
Well, no, if it works, but man, that's a pretty big matzo ball if you do it and it doesn't work. And they're like, oh, we played our best player 20 minutes a night. Like they did get to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final last year. It's not like they lost in the first round.
I know. I'm just saying, I just feel like every time you take a run at this, it's not exactly the same as last time. Every chapter's a new chapter, right?
Well, I would agree with that. I still think, though, every time you take a run at it, your best player's got to be your best players. That doesn't change. I don't care what team it is. That doesn't change, right? Yep. Like the Crosbys, those guys that go down the list, they're good. But I look at Edmonton, and the one thing I think is going to be different is without Ekholm, Nurse, Wallman, Kulak, and Bouchard, I think their top 4 spec actually might play more this year than last year because they don't have Kulak in the third pair now. He's going to have to play in their top 4.
Yeah, it's there, and that means when you go on the road, the matchups are going to be a little scary, and God forbid somebody gets hurt, and then you're in real trouble. They've got, I guess I'll ask you this. Who's their 7th defenseman right now?
I might argue it's Cam Dineen.
Right, like a guy that's never played a playoff game. What about, is it Josh Brown, a guy that couldn't make your team?
Yeah.
Is it Klingberg, a guy that I don't even know if he's healthy? Like, I don't even know who usually we'd say this about 8 or 9. You always know who your 7th is. These guys don't really have a defined 7 at this point, man. Who's the best guy in Bakersfield right now that's still left there? Can he play? Who is it?
Well, that's why Cam Dineen's here. That's the best guy. So, right, it's Josh Brown. But they have 9 defensemen up here. So, they probably hope they don't have to get to him, but we'll see. Yeah, like it's, Emerson and Stetcher. Hey, they're gonna have to, Troy Stetcher. I've liked how he's played in the regular season. I have no problem, but I could see all you need is 12 minutes. Like there's tons of Stanley Cup winning teams that played top heavy 4 guys, and Chicago. Look at their top 4, man. They played those guys a ton some years, and then their third pair would play. I think one year the third pair one guy averaged 7 minutes a night. So you can definitely do it. And the one thing is, Nurse can play minutes all day. Kulak, because they're such great skaters, they're effortless, they can play. And Bouchard played 25 minutes a night before. And very quietly, Spec, without Ekholm here, the last 2 weeks, Evan Bouchard's game has started to ramp up.
Yeah, it has. Absolutely. He's, we all know with Bouchard, his game, his offensive game is always there. It's just a matter of behind his blue line. Like, just survive it, man. If he can be a even player behind his own blue line, that the other 120 feet of the ice, he's going to be, he's going to have his head above water. So you're right. His defensive game's been better. He's paying a little closer attention, and maybe he's just ramping it up for the playoffs. But there's a good example, Jay. That guy, he's your best defenseman in so many ways. If your best guys got to be your best guys. You can't win with a 70% Evan Bouchard. They need 100% out of Evan Bouchard. And we saw how far that gets you last year. So they need it again this year.
Spec, we'll see you at the rink, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, man.
There you go. That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. When we come back, Kevin Woodley, we're going to do a little breakdown of goaltending next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. With state-of-the-art motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation. Our seatbelt-equipped buses have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, call 1-877-748-0991. or visit silentrides.ca.
Dang. Last season, you bought new clubs to fix your game. You spent the entire season trying to learn how to hit with your magic clubs. And guess what? Dang. They didn't help your game. Now you're convinced it's your swing, but it really is your clubs. Even though you were told the ones you bought were the best ever made, if they were, you would have gotten better. Every day at Fitted Golf, we continue to prove the right clubs make all the difference in the world. From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference. Yes, fittedgolf.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Spring into savings at The Brick. Refresh your home with huge discounts. Get up to 35% off sofas and sectionals and up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. Dreaming of better sleep? Upgrade your mattress game. Get a king for the price of a queen on select mattresses. Plus, save the tax when you buy 3 or more major kitchen appliances. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, proudly Canadian since 1971.
Need a solid foundation without the fuss? Richard and Kalina at DCL Pile Driving have your back. Locally owned, they offer straight, driven piles. No screwing around. Serving all of Alberta, DCL Pile Driving gets your foundation ready in hours with minimal ground disturbance. Perfect for tight spaces, whether it's for a deck, grain bins, or RTMs. Tell them the radio sent you and receive a special discounted rate. Call or text 587-322-PILE. DCL Pile Driving. Don't get screwed. Get piles driven.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Action Electrical. They're the most diversified electrical contractor in Alberta with 4 divisions in projects, service, tag, and solar for commercial or residential. Contact them today at actionelectrical.net.
Tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh, Montreal fans are getting fired up. Young Demidov comes in his first game and a tape-to-tape pass after a great move, great poise, holds on to it, goes around the D-man, puts it right on the tape in front, and Newhook doesn't waste any time, and Demidov has his first NHL point. The Canadians win tonight, and they are going to Washington to take on the Capitals, which is what we all expect, and ooh, a little excitement, man. Montreal fans, I'll say this. When Montreal's in the playoffs, that building is one of the best buildings to be in, no question in my mind. So, obviously, I put Edmonton right up there. It's fantastic, especially getting into the postseason. And I know the playoffs are coming, and they will be here next week in Edmonton. Could see like a Thursday, Saturday Oilers sked. If they play Sunday, Tuesday in LA, we'll see. I know the Lakers are playing Saturday the 19th. I'm thinking the Kings and the Oilers could start Sunday. We shall see. Should be fun. Let's go in the room now, brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings with Action Electrical. And remember, every day for the next month, your chance to qualify and win a $15,000 solar system courtesy of Here Comes the Sun promotion from Action Electrical. as we welcome in from In Goal Magazine, NHL.com, Kevin Woodley joins us. Woodley, how you doing, my man?
I'm good. I am good. We're live from the car mobile office, we'll call it, outside Rogers Arena. So game day here in Vancouver, not one that means much. It is a night for NHL debuts and last second call-ups. Both the Canucks and the Sharks had 4 players hurt in Calgary last night. 4.
What? Who got hurt?
I can't even list them all. Bordelot.
Oh, he got hurt again. Oh, geez.
Yeah, on his first game back. Ruda, Ostapchuk, and Thompson all got hurt. So they called 3 guys up. They got another guy coming back in who was ill in Calgary last night. When I was here in the morning skate, the 3 guys weren't even here yet, but they'd expect them in time for puck drop. So one of those nights for, big nights for some guys, family and friends, things like that. But not what they were expecting here in Vancouver in terms of the end of the season and a bunch of mean-nothing games. And Thatcher Demko shut down for the season. NHL debut for monstrous goaltender Nikita Tolopilo for the Canucks tonight. Just that's all they've got left here in Vancouver.
Oh, thanks. Looking at the playoffs, and Stu Skinner came in last night, and not a super busy game, Kevin. And Edmonton's defense has been a lot better here, and the injuries have kind of said, okay, boys, let's get back to how we were playing defensively last year and into the playoffs. And their goaltending numbers, shockingly, are better. No surprise to me. They've only allowed 17 goals in the last 8 games, and Skinner. What did you see last night from him coming off a neck / head injury? Was there enough to get a sense of where he's at in your eyes?
Like to see another one. Didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. Watched a couple periods and then just looked at some highlights after. I think clean is what you're looking for, and I thought it was a pretty clean game, and that's easier when it's clean in front of you. Only 3 high danger chances against. The only goal comes off a high danger. He gets a piece, doesn't bat it down. The only thing I'd like to see there is I think he can set on that play. Still moving on the initial save, which takes him out of position for the rebound. And, again, that the key, it's so important, especially when you get into the playoffs, when there's going to be every second chance is going to be so important. Every rebound, the battles around the net go up so much to be able to get your feet and be set and not get caught in motion on those. So that you're in position to have a chance at the second when you see the way he drifts out on that one. But that's picking nits on a really clean night for him and the team, and that's what you want to see heading into the playoffs. And it's funny you mentioned, I was looking at the numbers for both Calvin and Stu from the 4 nations on, and I'm guessing the raw numbers, the sort of NHL.com totals as I call them, are very different. The adjusted numbers are very similar. The environments are night and day, and I know Stu's missed a bunch of time as this defensive play has improved. And I think that's kind of the reason. 30-point difference in expected save percentage since the 4 nations for Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. And so if you can get some of that better environment in front of Stu, I think you'll see some better results. And I thought last night was a perfect step towards that. A chance to reset for him. Mm-hmm. And to come back and feel comfortable with the way the team plays in front of you, and that you're going to get that type of environment and that type of, to a certain extent, predictability in front of you. And listen, you might be able to get that against the Kings because they are not the most dynamic offensive team.
No.
And so I think that is it's like your perfect way to step back into it, right? As opposed to waiting for it to come as the season happens. When am I going to be able to trust this? Just reset, boom, there it is. Trust everything in front of you. And they made it very easy for him to trust what's going on in front of him. And so I'm assuming he gets the last one on Wednesday.
Yes, he does.
Yep. And that'll be another important one because I believe that's San Jose coming there after here.
Yeah.
And that's a team that has a lot of dynamic young talent and is having trouble with structure. So sticking with yours and not getting drawn into a back and forth. I get a bad feeling as a deadline writer tonight. I'm looking at 7-5. That can't be the kind of game you end your season with on Wednesday night, even though it will mean nothing. That structure is going to be very important to allow him to continue to build into the playoffs.
Kevin, the Vezina Trophy, you look at it, it seems like it's hella bucks to lose. It's hard to find any numbers to suggest anyone should beat him, but who would be your other 2 finalists?
Well, okay, so he is my winner, and I'm not giving you these numbers to suggest he shouldn't win. but he does not lead the NHL in goals saved above expected, at least on Clearsight Analytics. And the fact that the guy that is ahead of him has seen a lot fewer shots, is a bit of a statement. Number one on that list is Darcy Kemper of the Los Angeles Kings, and that might make Oilers fans a little queasy to hear that heading into a first-round matchup, especially given goaltending was not good for the Kings in the first round last year. But Darcy Kemper deserves to be a finalist. He leads the NHL in goals saved above expected. He's about 2 better than Hellebuck on the season. Adjusted save percentage, the only guy who's better than Darcy is in a tiny sample. So say amongst all the starters, Kemper is number one at plus 1.8%. So he's saving you about 2 goals every 100 shots. That's half a percentage point better than Connor Halley. So, I am not making the argument that he should win it ahead of Connor, but I'm pointing out that statistically, Darcy's had a hell of a season and he deserves to be in that conversation. Again, to me, we get into environment, and I do think you can make the argument. I think I made this with you, a couple of weeks ago about the Hart Trophy, that the belief the group has in Winnipeg in the way that if they do their job, Connor does his, that allows them to play with that structure. Like, he has a high expected save percentage in part because of who he is and because the group knows if we do our job, he will absolutely do his. And so there's none of this. And you see it at times when a team, tries to do too much to bail out the goaltender, or it feels like they have to do other people's jobs and pretty soon nobody's doing theirs. Like, there's none of that in Winnipeg. And so I think he actually, it sounds weird, and maybe it's just the goalie guy trying to give the goalies credit for everything, but I think Hellebuck deserves credit for how well the team plays in front of him. I think he plays a big role in that. And so I don't want to discount his season because of his environment is so good. But based on the environment, Kemper had more goals saved above expected. Beyond that, I'm not sure which way it goes. I can make an argument for Philip Gustafsson, who is 3rd in goals saved above expected. Dustin Wolf is 4th. Thompson has dropped all the way to 5th after leading it for much of the year, really fallen off there. And obviously the late season injury. Shesterkin's on this list. And then it's Vasilevsky, who actually I think probably will be the finalist as well. I think, again, his environment is much like Hellebuck's, one of the easier ones, relatively speaking, in the league. Well above 900, which is rare for a full season. But again, Vasi's been really good. I would bet it's Kemper, Vasilevsky, and Hellebuck, and I'd have no problem with any of it.
Okay. Looking at some of the other matchups, Kev, which teams do you think are going to purposely choose to use 2 goalies in the playoffs?
I think Carolina has to be one.
Yes.
I think they made a mistake last year. I hope they learned from it. I said it going into last year. Similar situation. Freddie Anderson didn't play the full season. Came back from the blood. Obviously, unique circumstances last year. The blood clot was one of the best goalies in the league down the stretch. And then they got in the playoffs. And rather than recognize that you can't play him every second night, even for one series, they tried to. And you quickly saw by game 4 or 5 diminishing returns. Now here's where the challenge is, Jason. Pyotr Kochetkov, as the season went on without Freddie, worked himself up into top 10 in the NHL conversation in terms of his performances on a night-to-night basis. Like, he just kept getting better and better. Since Freddie's come back and he's no longer the guy unquestionably every night, those numbers have dropped off a cliff. Like, they have fallen off from near top 10 to bottom 20 in the NHL. And so that's a really tough spot for them. Can they trust Kochetkov? And he's had a couple good starts lately, and that's important because you cannot roll Freddie out there on an every night basis. I hate to say it, but when Freddie's played since he's gotten back, again, his adjusted save percentage is right there with Darcy Kemper on the season as a whole in a much smaller sample, right at the top of the NHL. So that's one. Toronto's another one where I think they should, but when you hear the head coach talk about just wanting a guy, I don't know if they will. And I think that guy's going to be Stolarz just because ceiling and floors, right? I'm not saying he has a higher ceiling overall, but this season, when both guys have been good, Stolarz has been the better of the two when he's on a hot streak. And it looks like they've got him going a little bit. Hasn't been consistent, but closer to the guy that started the season down the stretch here. So that's another one where I think they got to go to. I think they will have to.
What about Colorado and Washington were my 2 asks?
Washington, I think, will. I mean, Thompson sort of, he got the contract and then Lindgren, but they were at their best when they were alternating. I don't know if we'll see a straight alternating because, again, at his best, Thompson has had such a higher ceiling, but we haven't seen that guy performance-wise for well over a month now. And obviously injuries for the last couple of weeks. I think it'll be Thompson to start, but I wouldn't be surprised if whether it's once every 4 games or more regular, depending on Logan's play, if Charlie gets in there as well. Colorado's an interesting one. I think that'll be a performance-based thing. Wedgwood, when he's been in there of late, he's been on a heater for the most part. Mackenzie Blackwood's numbers, though, have been really steady and really consistent. And I think in a playoff situation, this could be opponent-dependent too.
Yeah.
I think, though, in a playoff situation where it becomes more of a game about it's less freewheeling, it's less wide open, there's less rush, everything is grind down in front of the net, tips and rebounds and broken plays and traffic. Just the size and structure of Mackenzie Blackwood's game as opposed to Wedgwood, who a little more flow, a little more reliance on timing. He'll give you acrobatic diving saves and spectacular moments. But in terms of consistency, there's just a style. We don't think of this in terms of goalies very often, but Blackwood's game might fit the playoffs more.
Okay. What about Edmonton?
I'm curious to see. I think we saw 2 last year and they got to the Cup final. So just because it's funny because I think a lot of people pose the question like, are they going to need 2? Like that's a bad thing. I don't necessarily think it is. Stu's had some time off. I'm assuming they go with him out of the gate. I haven't been sort of following the conversations in Edmonton in terms of in the media and social media. But to me, it's kind of like last year. If you see signs of fatigue, if you see signs of slippage in his game, you think he needs a reset. Calvin is showing you that the team will play for him all year and play very well for him. And he's delivered results. And so I would assume a lot of people will see it as a short leash. To me, I look at it as more of like if you need to give a guy a reset, you don't hesitate because you trust the other guy. And that's actually how I view a lot of these situations. I'm not saying go to Kochetkov because you can't trust Freddie Anderson. I'm saying Freddie Anderson at his age, you can't play him into the ground. And so if we see signs of diminishing returns in a lot of these situations with one guy, depending on the schedule, and you guys end up with back-to-backs in your series because of the late start, there's going to be opportunities to play more than one goalie. And so I think it's a good thing that the Oilers have had success this season with both guys in net.
Kev, as always, buddy, great stuff. We will talk all the matchups, and we'll actually be talking some playoff games next Monday, so can't wait.
I don't get to see any in person, but I'm looking forward to it overall.
Yeah. We might even get you on for Wednesday, maybe for a little queue up, if you don't mind. Or Friday, I should say. So
absolutely. Okay. Hit me up. I got to cover the locker room cleanup day, as exciting as that is here. But after that, you hit me up, and I'll have a detailed scouting report on Darcy Kemper and the Kings.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Okay, take care.
There you go. That's Kevin Woodley from Mingo Magazine and NHL.com. So look for that coming on Monday. Woodley loves homework. I love it. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, get to the playoff push and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Get ready to revolutionize your job site with Edmonton Kubota's game-changing compact construction equipment. From mini excavators and skid steers to track loaders, carriers, and utility vehicles, they have a model to fit every need, all powered by legendary Kubota diesel engines. These machines are built for performance and reliability. Transform your work with Edmonton Kubota's top-of-the-line compact equipment. Visit them today and see why they're the name you can trust for power and precision.
Truck Month is on now at GMC, and it's one of the best times to get behind the wheel. Right now, get a $5,000 cash purchase credit on 2025 Sierra HD models with a 13.4-inch diagonal center touchscreen and available Duramax 6.6-liter turbo diesel V8 engine with 470 horsepower. Plus, the most trailering assistance technologies in its class. Sierra has some serious hauling power and is the only off-road ready HD. Truck Month is on now. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
I'm tired of waking up tired.
Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed.
I didn't know that. Put your kid in goal, man. It's tough. It's tough mentally. It's tough player for Oilers fans who have never seen him. Are they good?
Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
Oilers fans who have never seen him, are they? What type of player for Oilers fans who have think it's just a burn? First year of his entry level deal, you get the signing bonus, it's all great things. What type of player for
Start planning right now.
not eligible to go Kim's orders, not eligible, and likely Wednesday. That's tough mentally, it's tough emotionally, and clearly is tough financially. Quinn Hudson is going to play tonight and likely Wednesday for the Edmonton Oilers. He's not eligible to play in the playoffs, and then he's not eligible to go to the Americas.
The golf cart people can help. They offer a
Yeah,
wide
you know, like
selection
I
of new
would
and
not be
used
shocked.
models, including club
So
cars.
yeah,
Whether
and
you're
I think
after
that's
a
probably
lifted
fair.
cart
You know, he's there's lots of guys. Like I always like to tell people, there's
accessories or explore ready-to-go
There, so
options
you
available.
do a bottom
Trusted
patrol.
by
I'm not
Albertans
100%
since
convinced for the
1997.
long
The
run.
Golf Cart People delivers quality and experience. Visit golfcartpeople.com to find your cart and hit the road or the fairway your way.
Well, Wednesday, but it's just gonna be like collapsed. So you don't have to like send them anything. It'll just be all.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Watch every Oilers game at OTR with $5.25 Molson Canadian, $5 Pink Whitney shots, and 60-cent wings. Plus, play Oilers score and win for your chance to win On the Rocks gift cards. Oilers hockey at OTR. Book your table today. Jasper Ave and 118th.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
oh my goodness. Sweatpants will be needed in Montreal tonight as Demidov has an assist, and now he's just scored his first goal in the NHL in the first period. You watch the replay, unreal hands in tight, but what the hell is Chicago doing? Montreal misses an outlet stretch pass. It goes all the way down the ice. The Chicago goalie just lets it bounce off the end boards and come right into the low slot. And I'm just like, what? Well, that's why you're in second last place. That was an odd decision, but great hands in tight, man. But Soderblom, what are you doing? But I'm telling you, the Bell Center is going absolutely bananas. Like they haven't had, like people were saying this guy's the most exciting player they've had since Guy Lafleur. And his first period, he has a goal and assist. Trust me, they're going to go crazy. I don't want to put that much pressure on the kid, but good for him to step up in his first game and deliver. Also, it's important because it's a game that clinches them a playoff spot if they win. So a great start. And I wonder how many Demidov jerseys they will sell, Connor Halley. That's what I'd like to know, right? How many Demidov jerseys will they sell here in the next how many hours? Because I'm telling you, there'll be a lot. Number 93 Demidov in Montreal will be the hottest selling jersey in Montreal probably by the end of the week. Maybe by the end of tomorrow.
Good number. Crowd's going crazy. You can tell his teammates love him too. Like the celebration after he gets the goal. Yeah. But he's going to be fun to watch. Cannot wait to see the Bell Center in the playoffs. Like they just do it right. It's going to be buzzing.
Yeah. Let's get to the playoff report brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers. Truck month is on now at GMC. You get 0% financing for up to 72 months on a 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. See more at gmccanada.ca. So Montreal win, and they are officially in. I think they were going to get anyway, but this punches their ticket, and then they'll be up to 90 points. And Columbus then can't catch them. The most they can get is 89. Too bad, Columbus. What a great run. Good for them. Jet Greaves, man, 3 starts, unreal this week. They needed to win all their games, and they did, but they dug themselves a little bit too much of a hole. So it looks like the Capitals and the Canadians would be confirmed tonight. We know the Hurricanes and Devils are going to play each other. The Toronto Maple Leafs need 1 point in their final 2 games, or Tampa Bay has to lose 1 point, and they are guaranteed. So it looks like it's going to be Toronto and Ottawa, Tampa and Florida. In the West, we know Dallas and Colorado. We know Edmonton and LA. We're waiting. Minnesota win, and they will take on Vegas. St. Louis wins. They're in as well, and they will take on the Winnipeg Jets. Now, the Calgary Flames, they need some help. They obviously need to win both their games. Or if St. Louis loses in regulation, then Calgary needs to pick up 3 out of 4 points. They take on Vegas and LA. this week. So tomorrow for the West could be a deciding factor. Minnesota takes on the Ducks. St. Louis hosts Utah. Utah is playing tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So, Utah's in Nashville. So St. Louis, you need to win. You're playing a team on the second half of a back-to-back. You're not going to gas that, are you? Are you? I would think they wouldn't, but you never know. Other races, if you look at it from a league standpoint, Nikita Kucherov has a 3-point lead now on Nathan McKinnon. Colorado's resting some guys, so it looks like Kucherov could go back to back and win the Art Ross after having 144 points last year. He beat McKinnon by 4 points last year, and looks like could do the same this year. Connor McDavid was third last season. Leon Draisaitl is currently 2 points up on David Pasternak. Bruins have 1 game left. Draisaitl is a maybe to play. Connor McDavid, he's up to top 5 in scoring again. He's got 99 points in 66 games. His 1.50 points per game, second highest in the NHL. Only Kucherov is higher at 1.57. So the race for the Hart will be very fascinating. I think Draisaitl, McKinnon, maybe Kucherov, Connor Hellebuck, probably the 4 front runners. After that, it's wide open. I'm not even sure who. Jack Eichel might be 5th. Maybe, I would think. Possibility. The Norris Trophy was pretty close for a long time, but I think ultimately now it's probably going to be Cale Makar. Zach Werenski put on a hell of a season, but I just think Makar's 30 goals, and he really kind of separated here the last month and a bit of the season. But Werenski will get I think Werenski will finish second in that. The race for third will be interesting to see which guy. I think Lane Hudson is going to get some votes from some people. For sure, he's not going to win. I think him and Celebrini are up for the Calder, but I think it's likely going to be Lane Hudson, who is the younger brother of the newest member of the Edmonton Oilers, who you will see tonight. Quinn Hudson will make his NHL debut with the Edmonton Oilers. Coming up tonight, we got Walker and Paulson pregame show as the Oilers take on the LA Kings. Just a reminder, that's it's a late start, boys and girls. Get home, you got a nap time. You got a lot of time before a puck drop tonight. Tomorrow, we know the Oilers are playing the Kings. It's just a matter of where. Can the Oilers get a win tonight to keep their slim chances of home ice advantage alive? We'll see. I think if the Oilers are going to win tonight, it needs to be a low-event game for them to win. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves a great night. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. They are hiring, looking for plumbers and HVAC installers. Competitive wages, hiring bonus for the right candidate, RRSP matching, tuition reimbursement, and you work for an awesome company. LegacyHeating.ca. Apply today. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. Edmonton Oilers back in action, hosting the Kings down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. Our pregame coverage gets going next with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro on the ice right now. After 20 minutes, Canadians up on the Blackhawks 2-1. The Red Wings lead the Stars for that same score, and the Rangers Panthers tied at 1 apiece. Later tonight, Preds host Utah, and the Sharks and Vancouver taking on the Canucks. From the association today, Phoenix Suns firing head coach Mike Budenholzer. They had a record of 36-46 and had the largest payroll in league history. Third straight year that the Suns have fired their coach. On the diamond tonight, right now, Jays trail the Braves 4-0 in the top of the fourth. Elsewhere, the Royals have a 1-0 lead over the Yankees. Rays lead the Red Sox 6-1, and the Giants on top of the Phillies 6-3. Later this evening, Cubs in San Diego, and the Dodgers host the Rockies. Earlier today at the Women's World Hockey Championship, Canada beaten up on Czechs 7-1. They'll now advance to the quarterfinals, where they'll take on the winner between Germany and Japan. In the WHL, we've got Victoria in Spokane taking on the Chiefs. Chiefs lead that series 1-0. Puck drop just after 8 p.m. And WNBA draft. Paige Becker's going number 1 overall to Chicago with a number 2 overall pick. It was Dominique Valona going to Seattle, 6'6" center from France. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, it is pregame coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a